Hey guys! I know it is very early in the morning, but there is a good excuse to that. Thanks, Deathloop. Yeah, I just want to make sure the stream heard that. Oh my god, it really did. Anyway, yes, there's an excuse why this is very early in the morning, and I don't know why, but I am gonna have to be a little bit more quieter than usual in this stream, because I feel like some of my other household members are sleeping. So, I'm not exactly gonna be 100% with voice acting on this one. But anyway, I'm the fact of the matter is, I'm back. I'm finally streaming again. My coughs are not unbearable anymore. I've gotten to the point where I can at least stream again without. Oh, it's afternoon to your area? Nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bless. Thank you. Anyway, this is the final episode, or, well, the final mod of chapter number 1 before I move on to chapter number 2. In which you guys, you guys voted so generously on the poll. And after looking at all the votes, Encore is going to be my first episode of chapter 2. Oh, Hey, Goji fan. I'm just about to play Switcheroo blindly, and I have a feeling that this is going to be something that I'm going to have to get used to, because the male Dokis, I haven't seen gameplay of this at all, and well, this is going to be the first time ever seeing this, so this is going to be one hell of an experience. Anyway, Doki Doki Switcheroo is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated in any way with Team Salvato. It's designed to be yeah. I'll just go straight into it. Whoa. Okay, Windows, you gotta stop doing that. I hope that wasn't overbearing my voice. It probably was. Saddest music at... what's my saddest mod? If I had to pick the one that probably made me cry the most, it would probably be Castle Walls. Since Castle Walls, Fruits, and Vigilante are the only ones I've actually played. Well, like the long super classic ones that I have in my stream lists. So I'm just gonna have to go with those ones. I haven't actually seen Exit Music or Blue Skies or all of these super big mods, super popular mods that have been talked about for so long. I haven't seen gameplay of any of them because I was waiting to finally be able to play them myself, so that's why I'm here. Well, let's get this started. Have you played Within? That's not on my list, so I can. But I've only played like the first few beginning parts of it because I think I was with a few of my friends while we were still playing. Excuse me. I was with a few friends. I think one of them was Spirit and Empire. We had like a channel running together. And I think we stopped midway once Monica, or I mean the MC confessed to Monica and they became a thing. I think that was at the part where we stopped. Anyway, Switcheroo, mod, we've got a thing to do. I wake up to the sound of rhythmic pounding on my bedroom door. Oh wait, this is a femc, so I wake up to the sound of rhythmic pounding on my bedroom door. Hey, Diverse! Wake up, dummy! We're gonna be late again. The voice belongs to Satori, my neighbor and best friend since we were children. You know the kind of friend you do everything with and know everything about? Satori and I walk to school together every day. Well, some days we run to school. Starting around last year, Satori became oversleeping, and this habit has only increased in frequency over the months. On the other hand, I've always overslept, often to the point of missing school. So, since Satori wakes up first, he makes sure to come and get me. Sure, we both end up being a little late, but at least we get there. I groan and bury my face in my... Excuse me. I groan and bury my face in my pillow. Come on now. Don't make me come in there and drag you out of bed. Fine, I'm up already. I wearily open my eyes and sit up. Ooh, nice background. I notice the time on my clock. Damn, should have been out of bed. I should have been out the door 10 minutes ago. I slickly kick off my covers and tumble out of bed with a loud thud. I hurry to my feet and run into the bathroom. Within 5 minutes, I'm showered, have my teeth brushed, and my hair pulled haphazardly, I think, into a messy ponytail. I hear nothing on the other side of my door as I fumble into my school uniform. I assume Satori is already waiting outside. Finish pulling on my socks, slipping on my shoes, and grabbing my book bag before flying out the bedroom door. What? Before I know it, we collide and crash down the stairs. Our book bags spill papers and books everywhere. I land on top of Satori's back. Oh! We both remain still for a moment, absorbing the shock and pain of the fall. Thankfully, nothing is broken. Ugh, I thought you were waiting for me outside. I was going to. I really was. And now I regret not doing it. We both whimper in pain as I push myself off Satori's back. We're slowly helping each other up, we start collecting our papers and books. Quickly replacing them into our respective bags, we head out the door, we left with less skip in our steps than usual. We walk across the street together and make our way to school. I look over at Satori, who's cheerfully walking next to me. That is gonna get some used to. That is gonna take some getting used to. He's always had a jovial disposition. Sure, he has his occasional cranky moments. Who doesn't? But most of the time, he's as chipper as he can be. Seems to be in a good mood today. I playfully bump into him. Oversleeping again, lazy bones? I'm lazy? What about you? You were up all night playing video games again, weren't you? There's a little sass in his tone. I like it. Maybe. He growls and shoots me a glare. I smile to myself. He gets mad over the dumbest things. It's not funny! Those things will rot your mind. You should probably read more. I mean actual books, not video game text. Reading books? Is that our random menial argument for the day? Okay, whatever. Good day. Hello. So, you're not mad at me because you have to wake me up in the morning? You're mad because you want me to read more books. Huh, I'm not mad. I'm just looking out for you, that's all. So, what else is new? Sometimes I think he worries a little too much about me. I know, buddy, I know. I appreciate it. I can see his face and body relax with that last comment. We continue to make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Diverse, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I'm not joining any clubs. Why would you think I'm looking at clubs when I didn't even join any last year? You told me a couple weeks ago that you were going to look into joining a club. Don't you remember? I sigh. I vaguely remember discussing something about clubs with him. I agreed only to appease him, but I can't see myself joining any clubs. Not because there's anything wrong with being in a club, but because I tend to spend most of my after-school time in detention. Ouch. I'm not a bad girl. I'm not, but I do get into trouble for various non-violent reasons, like drawing on desks, getting caught sleeping in class, and occasionally vulgar language. I get kicked out of a club faster than I could join it. Club meetings are always held after school, and you know my after-school time is, more often than not, occupied. That's exactly what I mean. Joining a club would teach you responsibility. Your behavior might improve if you know you have to attend club meetings so you don't get kicked out. Satori suddenly gets very serious. I just want you to have a lot of great options for the future. I'm worried you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. The thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years worries me to death. You trust me, right? Please don't make me keep worrying about you. I smile slightly. It is rather endearing how concerned he is for me. He's right that I could use some socialization as well as some discipline. I don't know why Satori has started oversleeping when he did, but I've been oversleeping for years because I spend most of my nights obsessively playing video games. I just have zero motivation to stop being so lazy. I sigh. Maybe it's time for me to stop looking for shortcuts and really take something seriously. You're right, Satori. I do need to socialize more and start being more responsible. Oh, wait a second. I suddenly recall that Satori had recently become vice president of a club. If I joined his club, perhaps I could be afforded a few passes on days I might be late because I happened to get detention that day? This way, I'd be in a club like Satori wants without having to worry about being thrown out or even the smallest offense. And knowing myself as I do, breaking a rule or six is a guarantee. I smile broadly. Where do you hold your club meetings? My club? You want to join my club? Satori beams at me, gushing excitedly. Well, it would certainly be the first club I'd like to check out. You don't mind, do you? No, not at all. In fact, I'm so happy you want to check out my club first. I think you'll really like all my friends, and they'll really like you too. It's settled then. I'll meet you in your club after school. This is gonna be awesome. You better not get detention today or I'll be super disappointed. Don't worry, I'll be a good girl. It tells me where to find the club and we head inside, miraculously making it to class just before the bell. School day is as boring as ever, and after what feels like an eternity, it's finally over. I got yelled at a few times, but managed to avoid getting detention. It's time to check out Satori's club. As I slowly pack up my things, a thought occurs to me. I never even bothered to ask what Satori's club was all about. I lower my brows as I get up from my seat. Wow, that was incredibly dumb of me. I leave the classroom and make my way across the school. I head upstairs to a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Find the correct room number and swing open the classroom door. Diverse! Oh, hey guys, a new member is here! I give Satori a light smack on his arm. Don't call me a new member yet! I glance around the club room. Huh? Welcome to the club. It is a pleasure meeting you. Satori always says wonderful things about you. Seriously, you brought a girl? Finally! It's been a total sausage fest in here. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute guys. I feel warmth rush into my cheeks. Natsuko, don't be rude. You're embarrassing her. She is a lady after all. Lighten up, will ya? She looks like she can take a joke. How many times do I have to tell you? It's Natsu! Feisty little dude, whose apparently name is Natsuko. Isn't that a girl's name? No wonder he doesn't like to go by it. is one I don't recognize. His small stature makes me think he's probably a first year. Must have caught me looking at him. He turns to me and smiles amorously, puffing out his chest. Like what you see, huh? Feel free to sample the merchandise. I give an awkward smile. He's cute, but a bit obnoxious. Must be due to his age. Don't mind that. You can just ignore him if he gets too annoying. Siri says that quietly into my ear, then turns towards the other guys. This is Natsuko, always full of energy. And this is Yuri. He's the smartest one in the club. That's a kind thing to say, Satori, but it's a little embarrassing. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid than Natsuko and Satori, seems to have a hard time looking directly at me. He must be a shy guy. Oh, well, it's nice to meet both of you. Well, now what we've got... Excuse me. Well, now what have we got here? Hello, Diverse. Long time no see. Ah, crap. Huh. Sounds like you already know Matteo. Yes, we've spoken a time or two. Isn't that right, Diverse? Matteo smiles arrogantly. Ugh, I do know him. Well, we're not friends, but we were in the same class last year. He was always unbelievably arrogant. Wonder if his attitude has changed at all. Hey, Matteo. He chuckles. I'm actually surprised to see you here. This is just a quick visit, yes? Surely you have somewhere else to be right now. Ouch! Yep, still as douchey as ever. He's always looked down on me like I'm some kind of idiot. Okay, fine. He's really smart. No need to be a jerk about it. I'm sure his behavior is the direct result of how he's treated. Everyone acts like he's a prince who can do Everyone acts like he's a prince who can do no wrong. This is likely due to his looks. He may be a colossal ass, but I'd be lying if I said he wasn't a stunning specimen. Being so smart, handsome, and athletic, it's easy to see why he thinks out of everyone's league. It's easy to see why he thinks he's out of everyone's league. I invited her, Matteo. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I was thinking, never mind. She's looking into possibly joining us. Joining us? How curious. Oh, guys. Hey, Gabriel. What's up? What made you consider our club, Diverse? I hesitate. I can't very well be honest about my original motive, which was essentially to shut Satori up. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Satori seems to really like this one, so... How amusing. But I must warn you, this club isn't for the faint of heart. At least, not as long as I'm in charge. Oh, goody. He's the club president. Just my luck. So, you started this club? Hey, Clara! Indeed. Kind of a unique use of your time, isn't it? I mean, you're a popular guy. You could probably be on the board of any of the major clubs. This is true, but to be perfectly honest, I can't stand the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Starting a new club sounds like a lot of hard work, though. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out the effort to start something new. Especially when it's about something that doesn't grab your attention. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival far more important. So, you guys are the only members so far? It's a shame, isn't it? Turns out it's much harder to convince people that literature is fun and worthwhile than I thought it would be. even if I'm the one promoting it. Dread washes over me. This is a literature club? Yes. I try to hide the horror from my face. Literature? Could there possibly be a duller focus for a club? Mateo stares suspiciously at me. A smile slowly grows across his face. You had no idea, did you? Typical. He then looks quizzically at Satori. Did it cross your mind to tell her what our club was about? Satori merely smiles in my direction. Truthfully, I was just happy she wanted to come by. I see. Well, it was a delight to have you visit, Diverse. We'd like to commence our meeting, so if you don't mind... I snap back to reality. Whoa, wait, I'm not done in here yet. I'm still curious. Literature is cool, I guess. I mean... Mateo laughs at me in a condescending Excuse me. Mateo laughs at me in a condescending manner. Look, I understand how literature can be dull for someone like you. It's about self-expression, the ability to create a beautiful and unique work of art using only words. Words that express feeling and meaning. Essentially, it's for people who can understand and appreciate writing. I'm moments away from losing my temper with Mateo. I can't stand being talked down to. But at the same time, I don't want to get Satori in trouble for inviting me here in the first place. I decide instead to play it cool. Mateo may be a jerk, but he seems pretty passionate about this literature crap. I respect that. I never thought about it, but hearing you explain it like that makes it sound like something anyone could get into. Give me a chance to learn more, please? Very well. We're about to start our meeting. I suppose you can stay and observe. Who knows, maybe you'll find your calling as a writer. I offer him a smile of gratitude despite my overwhelming desire to punch him in the throat. Thanks, Mateo. I'll pay attention and take this meeting seriously. And while we're at it, I'll make some tea. Yuri goes to the closet to fetch a tea set. I join the others. They formed a table by pushing a bunch of desks together. There's an open seat next to Mateo and one next to Satori. Of course, I take the seat next to Satori. Yuri returns with a tea set and places a cup in front of each of us. That name is gonna throw me off so hard. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? The teacher gave us permission. Besides, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Yuri smiles sadly. Not much of a reader, I suppose. Well, that can change. What am I saying? Considering I haven't read anything of substance in months, I try hard to grasp at anything that we can relate to. I try hard to grasp at anything that we can relate to on an intellectual level. At this point, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Suggesting her reading level has hit rock bottom, Yuri? I'm tempted to agree with you. That's not... Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. Mateo seems to have enjoyed the unintentional implication of my illiteracy. I'm sorry if I insulted you. You're fine. I really should read more anyway. Hey, a nice cup of tea might help to make it more enjoyable. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to himself in relief. What kind of books are you into, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of his teacup with the tip of his index finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about his reading. Seemed very reserved and timid since I got here, but it's obvious by the way his eyes light up that he finds his comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I do like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Ah, I play a lot of horror games. Yes, video games and reading are very similar, aren't they? Hey, some video games require a lot of reading. In some cases, it consists of more reading than actual gameplay. And let me tell you, some games can tell one hell of a story. Well, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down, regardless of the genre. What about you, Diverse? What do you like to read? I was afraid of this question. I frantically searched for an answer that's not gonna make me look like a complete idiot. Comic books? I stammer it out before I have a chance to realize what I'm saying. Why did I say that? It's been a few years since I've sat down and read any of my old comics. Natsuko suddenly lifts his head like he wants to interject, but then he appears to change his mind and remains quiet. Yuri, meanwhile, just chuckles softly. Well, I'm sure if you stick around, you may wish to expand your horizons. I'd love to suggest some of my favorite surreal horror titles if you'd be interested. Yuri sips his tea in a sophisticated manner. I, meanwhile, slurp mine down like a horse drinking out of a tro. Sops intended, dude. I beg your pardon? Oh, well, it's a profoundly lazy and uneducated way to say that I'm super interested. Ah, good. I'm happy to hear that. Yuri smirks and smirks quietly to himself, obviously amused by my ignorant reply. Why am I like this? He takes another gentle sip of tea. Yuri probably thinks I'm an unclassy clod, and he's not wrong. I catch a muffled laugh coming from Satori, who smirks at me from beneath his hand that's covering the lower half of his face. At least someone is being amused by my awkward attempts at trying to socialize with an intellectual. I give Satori a sharp kick under the table in an attempt to silence his snickering. Ow! What the? Who just kicked me? My face burns as I press it into my open palms. Satori sits next to me, snorting and wheezing, trying to hold in his laughter. I glare at him momentarily before looking apologetically at Natsuko. I'm so sorry, Natsu. I was aiming for this cackling hyena. I successfully land the second kick right on Satori's shin. It brings his giggling to a screeching halt. Natsuko's expression changes from confrontational to forgiving. No worries, babe. You can kick me anytime. His arrogance is sort of annoying, but at the same time, it surprisingly doesn't distract too much from his cuteness. Do you like horror books too, Natsu? Me? No way. I hate horror. Really? Why's that? I just... Natsuko looks at me like he wants to say something. Who cares? I don't like scary stuff, alright? Jeez, I don't even like being in the same room as your weird novels. Natsuko, you have a pretty big mouth for someone who keeps his comic book collection in the club room. Natsuko shoots a glare at Mateo. Hey, my comic books aren't going to be haunting anyone's dreams anytime soon. Besides, comics are literature too, you know. Swiftly defeated, Natsuko plops back into his seat, crossing his arms stubbornly and looking away. Yeah, forward much? Yeah, he is. Especially with the girl he just met. That's right. Childish things are more your style, aren't they, Natsuko? Natsuko instantly snaps his head back to Mateo. What? Where'd you get that idea? Well, aside from your little comic book and manga collection, you wrote something on a paper and left it here during the last club meeting. I believe it was a poem called... God, don't say it out loud! And don't read things that don't belong to you. Satoru slides up to Natsuko's desk and drapes his arm over his shoulder. Don't get upset, Nat. Nothing wrong with liking kid stuff. I do not like kid stuff! Natsu, you write poems? Oh, well, yeah, sometimes. Why? I think it's super impressive. I'd love to read your poetry sometime. Natsuko blushes and averts his eyes. I don't know. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand Natsuko's reluctance. Sharing one's writing takes more than just confidence. It's a very intimate exchange. Excuse me. You must be willing to open up your readers. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Well, Yuri, it sounds like maybe you should set an example for Natsuko and share your own poetry. That way, he'll be comfortable enough to share his. Yuri almost blushes and turns away. Looks like Yuri feels the same way about sharing poems as Natsu. Aw, man. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Matteo's eyes suddenly light up. Alright, well, if that's the case, then I have an idea for an assignment. Tonight we'll all go home and write a poem of our very own, then share them with each other at tomorrow's meeting. That way, everyone's even. Yuri and Natsuko fidget nervously. Satori suddenly stands up. Yeah, let's do it! Come on, guys! Think of how much we can learn from each other by our different styles. It'll help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. It's a great way to show our appreciation for literature, too. I'm taken aback by Satori's words. Since when's he into poetry? I guess if he likes it, maybe there's more to it than I'm allowing myself to see. Yuri suddenly lifts his head. Satori's right. We could learn a lot about each other by sharing our poetry. After all, the truest form of writing is writing to oneself. I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it too. But only because I want you all to see how a pro writes. Then it's settled. I look forward to seeing how creative you all can be. Matteo focuses on me. So diverse. Think you're up for writing a poem to share with everyone? Or is this club simply too boring for you? I lift a curious brow. Part of me wants nothing to do with Matteo or this boring club. I'm not really sure. Matteo smirks to himself, but the other three look a bit downcast. I'm not surprised. I'm sorry, I thought. Aw, man. Diverse. Hear the guys stare back at me with dejected eyes. I'm powerless against their beraved stares. They really want me in their club, don't they? I'm not sure if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. But damn, why do they have to be so cute? Well, if writing poetry is the price I have to pay in order to spend every day with these cute guys. I give a heavy sigh and look back at them with a defeated smirk. Well, I've decided. I'm going to join the literature club. With the exception of Matteo, their eyes light up with excitement. Really? No fooling? You're the best, Diverse. Satori rushes me and wraps his arms around me tightly, lifting me up and spinning me around for a moment. The gust causes my skirt to fly up a bit, no doubt giving my new friends a free show. Hey! You scared me for a second. If you just showed up to tease us with your presence, I'd be super pissed. Well, if that's what you choose, it is. Very well. I suppose we can end this meeting on a good note. Remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Matteo looks over to me once more. This club isn't an outlet to screw around after school. We take literature very seriously. I suggest you do the same. I won't tolerate any slacking off, understand? Matteo's expression and tone are serious. I nod. Don't worry, I won't let anyone in this club down. I sincerely hope not. I look away nervously. There's no way I can impress Matteo with my mediocre writing skills. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. All I can do is try my best, I suppose. You guys get to work moving the desk back into place while Yuri gathers up the tea set. Excuse me. Hey Diverse, wanna walk home together? It's been a while since Sayori and I have walked home together since I'm either in detention or he's participating in clubs. Of course, let's go. Alright. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. So, what did you think of the club, Diverse? I look suspiciously at Satori, instantly picking up on his sneaky tone. Now that we're far from school, I can speak my mind. Why didn't you tell me before that your club is full of hot guys? Well, in my defense, they're not hot to me. Fair point. You know what I mean. Satori gives a knowing grin. You like what you see in there? Well, Matteo's a jerk, but everyone else is cool. Did you enjoy watching me embarrass myself with Yuri? Now you see why I told you that I need to... Now you see why I told you that you need to work on your social skills? That could have gone better than it did. I frowned. He's definitely right. I could have gone way better if I wasn't so socially awkward. Yuri probably thinks I'm a total airhead. What the hell? Yes! My feet come to a halt. I look at the ground sadly. Do you think any of them liked me? Satori stops and looks at me. He smiles warmly. Of course they did. Believe it or not, Matteo does too. I know it's hard to tell because he can be really snobby, especially when it comes to things he's passionate about, like literature. But trust me when I say he was way nicer to you than he usually is with everyone else. I smile to myself a bit. And once they get to know you, and you spend time with everyone, they'll see how wonderful you are. And, well, they'll like you even more. I hope you're right. Trust me, these guys are my friends. I know them and I know what they like. In fact, how about you let me help you? Help me? How so? Excuse me. I'll help you appeal to whichever one you prefer. What do you say? You want to be my wingman? Of course. That's what best friends are for, aren't they? As my best friend, I just want to see you happy. All I'm going to do is give you helpful tips. For example, Yuri likes big words and anything to do with horror. Matt likes simple writing using words that are... how should I put this? Cute? Anyway, you can take it from there. You don't need my help that much anyway. You're already beautiful and funny. Just tell me who you like and I'll help you get him. I mean, not that I'm interested in him, but what will impress Matteo? Satori thinks to himself for a moment. Bruh, yeah, I did not have sleep. It's fine though. I'll sleep later. He'll be impressed by seeing you put effort into this. And so will I. Thanks, Satori. You're the best. My pleasure. Oh, hey, I'm gonna go change out of my uniform and grab something to eat and I'll be over in an hour. That'll be fun. Fun nothing. Someone has to make sure you do your homework. Fine, you space cadet. I'll do my stupid homework. You better. I'll see you in an hour. Alright. Love you, buddy. Love you too. We head to our respective houses. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't consider Satori in the lineup. I soon find my thoughts shifting between the four guys. Satori, Natsuko, Yuri, and even Matteo. Four very different guys, all interested in the same goal. If I can remain motivated, I wonder if I'll be able to spend more time with one of these handsome fellows. I just have to stay positive and good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Is this my first game? Yup! time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Well, this is it. My very first DDLC mod with the poem game. Alright, I'm just gonna... If I pick Natsuko the first time, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm just not gonna look to the left, and I'm just gonna save scum through this part. And whoever I got this first time, I don't know. Anyway, I'm definitely gonna go back and do the other routes. Ah, you came back. Yep, I told you I'm serious about this. It might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I'm the last one to come in, and wait, what's that smell? Is that food? Thank you for keeping your promise, Diverse. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. I sniff the air some more. There's definitely food in here. I'm positive I smell confectioner's sugar. Where's it coming from? Don't feel too sorry for her, Yuri. Satori told me this naughty girl didn't even want to join any clubs this year. Last year, too. I sure hope you intend on taking us seriously, Missy, or you won't see the end of it. Shorty's got the sugar. I approach him and sniff the air around him. You smell like cupcakes or something. Do you have food? Told you she'd smell it as soon as she walks in. She's got a nose like a bloodhound when it comes to food. Satori playfully leans on me, his arm draped over my shoulder. Aw, man, I wanted it to be a surprise. Tsuko pouts. Trust me, I'm surprised. Also super hungry. I beg her to the tray before she devours us all. Hey, I brought them. I'll get them. Tsuko heads to the back of the classroom and trays a tray covered with tin foil. While we're at it, I'll make some tea as well. Satori suddenly leans into me and mutters into my ear. Stop sniffing the club members, you weirdo. I give Satori a sniff and wrinkle my nose in distaste. You need to wash your blazer. You need to wash your hair. He gives my ponytail a gentle tug. Hey! Atsuko sets the tray on the desk in front of me and dramatically peels back the tinfoil. Ta-da! Whoa! I stare in awe as he reveals a dozen fresh cream-filled donuts. The words Literature Club are written in chocolate icing on each donut. Natsu, these look amazing! Well, I usually do stuff like this on days we get a new member. But you came in so suddenly I didn't have a chance to. So I figured I'd do it today. Hurry up and take one. Satori and I each reach for one. I love this. As for me, however, this is a great mod so far, but seeing the actual Dokis as guys, this is gonna get some taking used to. In which it's completely fine. That's why I put this mod on my list. Satori and I each reach for one. These are awesome! I rotate the donut in my hand, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Atsuko is quiet. I can't help but notice him sneaking glances in my direction. Is he waiting for me to taste it? I end up stuffing the entire thing into my mouth. Pastry is flaky and the icing is sweet and full of flavor. It's delicious! Thank you, Mafu! Sari groans into his hand. Clearly, I've learned nothing from our previous conversation regarding my questionable social skills. No need to thank me. I finish chewing and swallowing, my eyes already locked on my nasty... Excuse me. Ew! I hate that word, sorry. Ugh. I get a bad taste in my mouth when I say it, and I accidentally taste... I don't know. I finish chewing and swallowing, my eyes already locked on my next tasty victim. These taste homemade. Did you make them yourself? Atsuko suddenly blushes and turns away, clearly bothered by my question. No way, baking is for girls. My mom just runs a bakery, that's all. So that's why they taste homemade. They are, but I just brought them. No big deal or anything. He mutters that last part. I didn't mean to offend him. I awkwardly stared. Excuse me. I awkwardly stared at him as I grabbed the other donut and slowly shoved that one into my face. Satori nudges me. Stop eating. Whispers this to me while giving me an annoyed glare. Don't tell me how to live my life. What? My mouth is overflowing with donut. Satori visibly tries to suppress the grin creeping across his face. We both break at the same time and start giggling. I struggled to keep the cream from shooting out of my nose. I swiftly grab a tissue from the teacher's desk to wipe the crumbs and cream from my mouth. Don't make me laugh while my mood... Excuse me. Don't make me laugh while my mouth is full, Sayori. You almost made me choke. Hey, it's not my fault. No one told you to shove that donut in your face like a python swallowing a rabbit. We both start giggling again. It's not uncommon for us to crack each other up like this daily. Yuri approaches with a tea set and hands me a steaming cup. You two are such fun to watch. You really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. No need to be jealous, Yuri. She could be good friends with you too. I can see you two getting along really well. Yuri even got something for you, Diverse. Oh wait, Satori. For me? It's nothing really. Come on, Yuri, don't be shy. What is it? Never mind. Satori made it sound like a big deal when it really isn't. I suddenly gesture with my head for Satori. Blah. I subtly gesture with my head for Satori to bugger off. He nods and heads back to his desk. It's time for me to save the situation. Yuri, don't worry about it. Any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Of course. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Well, alright. Here you go. Relieved, Yuri reaches into his bag and pulls out a book. Jeez, that's a thick book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked up a book I thought you might enjoy. That thing is like 1,000 pages. He doesn't expect me to actually read the whole thing, does he? It's a short read, so it should keep your attention. Short read? Is he serious right now? Looks like Stephen King wrote that tome. Looking at the cover barely keeps my attention. I was hoping after you finished it, we could, you know, discuss it. If you wanted. Yuri smiles bashfully. I sigh, as if he wasn't already unbelievably cute enough. Can't believe he brought me a book he thought I'd enjoy despite me not reading much. What a gentleman. I suppose reading it is the least I can do. This was super nice of you, Yuri. Thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Holy cow, this thing weighs like 8 pounds. that book be thick. I flip through the pages. Oh boy, size 6 font. My favorite. I slip the book into my bag. Well, you can read it at your own pace. Anyway, I'll have to go now. Alright, Gabriel, thanks for stopping by. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Matteo to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Satori and Matteo are having a quiet conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice his intense expression, like he was waiting for this chance. Teeny weeny words. Yep. Meanwhile, Natsuko is rummaging around in the closet. Whose route did I get first? Yes! Man, seems like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related when I'm alone like this? I guess I could start reading the book Yuri gave me, but I'm so bored that reading would only put me to sleep. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Satori and Madio's conversation. We're probably gonna sound really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. Festivals are our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is, the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all. We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve our problem, though. What problem? Even if we come up with the most fun idea ever, who's gonna come to a literature event in the first place? It's more important for us to figure out how to get people to actually show up. We need to first accumulate an audience that we can speak to their creative minds. Wow, Satori's taking this seriously. It's rare to hear him deliberating like this. Excuse me, it's rare to hear him deliberating like this. Very good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? The right food will. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Donuts! That's right, Natsuko would love to handle that. Yeah, that works out perfectly. Now to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling thinking about those donuts. Also, I admire Satori's dedication to this club. I have so much trouble finding any motivation at all. Satori, on the other hand, can put his mind to anything and make it happen. That's why I let him get on my case about things. I wonder what it'd be like to see the world through his... Excuse me. I wonder what it'd be like to see... I wonder what it'd be like to see the world through his eyes. Ah! I open my eyes to see Satori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Aw, did I wake baby from her whittle nap? You scared me half to death, you big doofus! Well, tough. You should have been sleeping in the first place. Unfortunately for you, there's no such thing as the napping club. I grab Satori's arm and look into his face with excited eyes. Dude, we need to start the napping club. You stayed up late again, huh? You know, now that you're in this club, you're gonna have less time for video games, so get used to it. Fine, fine. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. Or Satori. Well, someone has to. And therein lies the problem, my friend. You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You talk about me staying up late when you stated oversleeping last year and continue to do so. The only reason you wake up on time now is so you can make sure I wake up on time. You don't wake up for you do it for me. Do you ever do anything for yourself? In fact, what the hell are you even wearing? Huh? Satori scans himself curiously. Oh, my new uniform? Yeah, I accidentally got the excuse me. Yeah, I accidentally got the wrong size. Is it that noticeable? You look like a 6-year-old trying to wear his father's business suit. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you cared about yourself, you would have paid more attention to what you were ordering. You're not even wearing it properly. Look at the other guys. See how their blazers are nicely buttoned and their ties are tucked in? Why is yours still unbuttoned? You specifically got a new one because the other one was too tight when buttoned up. Yeah. Jeez, come here. I stand up and start fixing Satori's tie. I tighten it properly and button up the collar of his white undershirt. I tuck the tail into his sweater vest. Then I get to work buttoning his blazer from the bottom, working my way up. Satori smirks a little. You really shouldn't be doing these kinds of things in front of people. They might get the wrong idea about us. I look up at Satori curiously. He's blushing a little. I'm tempted to make this situation as weird as possible for him. It amuses me so. Since when do we care what people think about us? You scared you won't get a girlfriend if everyone thinks we're a couple? Satori's blush intensifies a bit. Well, no. It's the guys. If they think we're a couple, then you won't be able to, you know, get one of them to ask you out. You know, I really appreciate your help, but why do you care so much about hooking me up with one of your friends? Huh? No reason. I was just, geez, sorry I said anything. He averts his eyes. He's adorable when he's flustered. I finish buttoning up his blazer. There, that's better. You know you're dressed right when your tie, buttons, and belt buckle line up perfectly in a straight line. I look down and notice his pants are crooked, the belt buckle off to one side. Hold on. Hey, Diverse, wait! I reach down, my fingers curling into the front of his pants and gripping the waistband. With one assertive but gentle tug, I line the belt buckle with the buttons on Satori's blazer. There we go. Jeez, what'd you do that for? I could have handled it myself. I look up at him, smiling playfully. Well, maybe I wanted to handle it today. Satori's face turns bright red. He retreats a few steps. Gah! Why do you always say weird things like that? Sheesh! I snicker triumphantly. I just can't help myself sometimes. Anyway, you look much better now. I can't stand the collar buttoned up like that. I can hardly breathe. Feels like I'm being strangled. I can barely move in this stiff blazer when it's all buttoned up. It's not worth it at all. Satori hastily unbuttons his blazer once more along with his shirt collar. He also loosens his tie and frees it from beneath his sweater vest. Much better. Having disheveled himself once again, Satori stretches in relief. You have some nerve to talk about my wardrobe. What about you? What even is your blazer? What do you mean? It's right here. I check my waist, where I usually keep my blazer tied, only to find out that it's gone. I feel my face burn with embarrassment. Ah, damn it! You lost it, didn't you? Again? I didn't lose it, alright? I just don't know where it is right now. Yep, you lost it. They mean the same thing, dingus! Oh, shut up. It's probably just in the lost and found again. Or hanging on the back of the chair in the detention room. Or lying in the hallway. Or in the cafeteria. Whatever! It always ends up in the lost and found anyway. It wouldn't end up there if you wouldn't just wear it like a normal person. Come on! I look around nervously before lowering my voice a bit. You know why I keep it tied around my waist. I tug embarrassingly at my skirt. I use the blazer as, well, extra coverage. Satori grins devilishly and gestures towards the others. You really want to get their attention? Leave the blazer in the lost and found. Hey, I don't need to show off the goods in order to get their attention. I happen to be pretty friggin' charming. Okay, it was just a joke. Well, anyway, try to focus a bit more on taking care of yourself, alright? If you wake up early, do it for your benefit. Only if you agree to start going to bed at a reasonable hour. Deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than ourselves, huh? Yeah, I think it's always been that way. Hey guys! Matteo suddenly calls out. Why don't we share our poems now? Sweet, I can't wait to read yours, Diverse! Yeah, likewise. I fail to sound enthusiastic as Satori jogs to his desk to retrieve his poem. By the way, Diverse, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do this. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I never done this before. You did? Huh. I'm surprised. Well then, go find someone to share with. Finally! I've been waiting all day for this! Can't wait to see your poem, Diverse. Satori and Matteo enthusiastically pull out their poems. Satori's on a wrinkled piece of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Meanwhile, Mario has written his in a composition notebook. I can already see Mario's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Of course he has perfect handwriting. Itsuko and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Alright, well, first though, I'm gonna go back here and attempt to see if I got it again. Or Sayori's thing again, just so I can, well, skip, 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 skip. Ah, damn it. I did it again, hold on. Oh, come on, man. Alright. Skip. Alright. Ah. Alright, though, let me just wait. Oh, okay, I got Yuri. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. But at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting him from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of his book. Looks like the same book he gave to me. More than that, he seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think he noticed me staring at him. He sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. He grins sheepishly at me. Hello. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I've made us both uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, I wouldn't have noticed in the first place. I'm just rereading some of this. That's the book you gave me, right? That's right. I'm just refreshing my memory by looking through the first few pages again. Once it starts to pick up, it's impossible to put down. It's a very engaging story. Oh yeah? Is it a horror book? It is. Cool, what's it about? Whoa. Yuri closes the book and flips it over, scanning his eyes over the back. The book is titled Wendigo Soul. There's a set of red fangs engraved on the front cover. Okay, I just want to make sure I don't accidentally give away any spoilers. Basically, it's about this group of teenagers in the Old West. A horror story in the Old West? That's kind of a weird concept. Yuri snickles softly. I thought it was interesting too. See, the protagonists are the sons of the local cattle barons. Their lives are difficult enough just trying to survive. But things get strange when suddenly people from the town start going missing, and cattle are being viciously mauled in the night by strange, ferocious creatures. As the story goes on, the friendships of the protagonists start to weaken as they struggle with who to trust among them. Things only get worse when they suspect the killings relate directly to a mysterious girl who lives alone in the woods. That actually sounds pretty cool. I wouldn't say it sounds particularly scary, though. Well, I didn't want to explain it in a way that made it sound off-putting, especially if you're not into that sort of thing. But I am, actually. I love scary video games. I'm sure a spook book would keep my attention. Excuse me. I'm sure a spooky book would keep my attention. I'm glad to hear that. Nothing keeps my attention quite like spine-tingling story. I keep forgetting Yuri is into macabre stuff. He's so quiet, polite, and gentlemanly on the outside, but his mind seems to be completely different. See, stories like this challenge you to look at life from a whole new perspective. When horrible things happen, people are quick to point the finger at the outcast and label them the villain. It's easy to fear with what one doesn't understand after all. And suddenly, when you thought you sided with the protagonist, you realize your supposed hero is more selfish, flawed, and ignorant than the perceived villain. Excuse me. One of those stories that make you realize the bad guy had a point the whole time. Precisely. It's that kind of moral ambiguity that truly allows the reader to interpret the lesson in their own way. Making the villain more relatable than the protagonist really forces your mind to explore a very different perspective than it normally would. It even makes you question the very definition of good versus evil. You're really into this, aren't you? Yuri looks away, blushing. He smiles coyly. Diverse, I think I should warn you that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I tend to get a bit too overzealous. So, I'm sorry if I end up acting strange or if I talk too much. Don't sweat it, big guy. Just means you're passionate about your reading. This is a literature club, after all. I can sit here and listen to you talk about reading all day. In fact, he had 2 copies of the same book. It's obvious what he wants. I reach into my bag and retrieve the colossal compendium. I may as well get started on reading it, right? That's... You needed to feel obligated to do so if you really don't want to. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you. Nonsense. Of course I want to. In fact, why don't we read it together? Can I sit here? I slide into the seat next to him. If that is what you choose. His apprehensive suddenly dissipates and he visibly relaxes. Of course. I'd pull the seat out for you, but they're attached to the desks. It's okay. I appreciate the gesture, though. Yuri smiles. I'm not used to reading in company with someone. This promises to be a delightful experience. He seems excited to get started. Well, I'm not exactly used to it either, so let me know if I end up distracting you, okay? I'm sure you won't be a problem. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by reading in company. It's as if I can feel his presence over my shoulder as I read. It's kind of annoying, but at the same time it's comforting because I know it's him. I suddenly see Yuri in the corner of my eye. Ah, jeez, no wonder it feels like his presence is over my shoulder. He's like right there. I realize he's not actually reading from his own book. He's reading from mine. I'm sorry. Looks like I'm the one being distracting. I'm just having an unusually difficult time staying focused on my own book. I see what he's getting at. No worries. I have an idea. I slide my desk up against Yuri's and push my book between us. This should work, right? A very clever situation indeed. A very clever solution indeed. Yuri timidly closes his copy and places it in his bag. Once we each lean in a little bit, I realize that the big guy really is a bit too big for me to see over. His broad shoulders seem to be blocking me out. This is gonna take a little extra thought. I slide my leg under me and prop myself up on my knee, then lean over and rest myself on my elbows. I can see the book now. I just have to make sure I don't lean forward any further or my chest will be pressed against his arm. Are you sure you're comfortable like that? Now wrap your arm around me, you fool! I'll be fine. You don't mind holding the book, right? Not at all. Yuri opens the book. I squint my eyes a bit. It's hard to read that tiny text from so far away. I lean in a bit more, still keeping some space between Yuri's arm and my chest. But now we're huddled even closer than before. It's kind of distracting. It's almost as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and he's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? For me to turn the page? I'm sorry. I didn't know we started. I glance over at Yuri and our eyes meet. There's no way I'll be able to keep up with him. Not exactly a speed reader. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure the small... Excuse me. I'm sure the small font isn't helping much, so I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Just let me know when you're ready, okay? Thanks, I appreciate it. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks I'm ready for him to turn the page. He leaves it open just the right amount of time for me to finish before turning it into his own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Excuse me. Hey, Yuri. What does this word mean? I lean in and point to a word I don't recognize that's being used metaphorically. Ah, effulgent. It means shining brightly or radiant. Okay, that makes sense. The girlfriend of the main character is all bubbly and cheerful, so it fits. That's right. She's a cute character. But I personally prefer the stoic nature of the mysterious girl who lives in the forest. There's a shocker. Oh? Am I really that transparent? About as much as a ghost. Yuri blushes a little. Well, if I can be completely honest, the wild forest girl kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Seriously? It's true. She's blunt, smart, adventurous. She has a very dry wit about her that I find absolutely charming. I see. I get the feeling that last line wasn't referring directly to the character in the book. Feel my cheeks redden. It's no secret that I like to flirt, but when someone like Yuri flirts back, it's almost more than I can handle. Diverse? I look up cautiously at Yuri. He suddenly looks very embarrassed. What's gotten into him? My eyes widen as I feel his arm move around a bit beneath me. I look down. I must have become too relaxed because I find myself draped over his arm, leaning onto it as though it were a pillow. My chest is resting right against him. I squeal and leap away. Ah! I'm sorry! I wasn't paying attention! Please don't worry about it. It's fine. Keeping his head down, he slowly moves his arm off the desk. I can't decide whose face is redder at this point, mine or his. Excuse me. Alright guys, get your poems ready. We might not have time if we don't get started now. Yuri exhales in relief. I'm kinda relieved too, to be honest. I turn very awkward very quickly. Ready, Yuri? I know you probably haven't been looking forward to this, but at least try. Thank you, Matsuo. I'm sure I'll be able to do this. Yuri closes the book and pushes it towards me. It seems he still hasn't recovered fully from our little embarrassing scene. I wonder if he'll feel comfortable enough to read with me again tomorrow. I guess I'll do some reading at home tonight. Yes, that would be best. It'll be more fun to read together once the story picks up a bit. I smile a little in relief. Sound reasoning. In that case, I'll finish the first 2 chapters tonight. Alright. I stand up, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, which I will absolutely forget later, and slip it back into my bag. Alright, sweet. Alright, let's go back here. I'm gonna try and get Satori again. But, oh, that figures that was a Yuri word. I like this cover of Dreams in Literature. Yep. Okay, at this point I feel like I got her. Alright, skip it again. Oh boy, size 6 font, my favorite. Alright, no matter which one this is, I'm saving. Yep, this is Satori's route, so I'm gonna save it here just in case if I ever want to go back here. And then I'm going to... Oops. Alright, I feel like I got her at this point. Got him at this point. Just not Natsuko. Well, I'm covering her as once I'm finished with this. Ah, I went too fast. Fuck. Okay. Crimson. Okay, yeah. I at this point I have a feeling that I know which words is everyone else. And stop here. And just keep clicking. Okay, awesome. Now, Natsuko's. I'm gonna do this. Oh, oops. Oh, wait, that was a Yuri word? I really like the designs of the chibis, especially Yuri's eyes. They look really good. Let's see here. Pink, yeah. Yeah. Oh crap. Let me try to think here. Oh damn it. Oh, that's definitely a Natsuko word. That's one of them. That's one of them. That's oh. Alright, sweet. Okay. Alright, perfect. And then... Wait, what the? Why did that one have a different, scene change transition? Oh well, not really my business, but I got Natsuko's route now. Alright, now we can finally get back to it. Ugh! I hear Natsuko utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. He seems to be annoyed by something. I approach in case he needs a hand. Need help looking for something in there? Friggin' Matteo! He never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping everything organized if he's just gonna mess it all up? Suku slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across a shelf. comics. Like comic books and manga, right? I dabble. I was super into it when I was a kid until I moved on to video games. But I still have a collection that I flip through from time to time. Well, I got them all. Take a look for yourself. Takes a few steps away from the closet so I can see the various box sets. That's a pretty impressive collection. I spot a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. Hey, I was looking for that! I notice a box of manga in the closet that's missing a volume. I take the liberty of slipping it into the empty slot. There you go. Thanks! That looks so much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing annoys the hell out of me. I know that feel. You can ask Satori how many times I've flipped out on him for not putting one of my games back in the proper case or slot. I take a closer look at one of the sets. It appears to be a much older series than the others. The Adventures of Captain Kidd? Sounds kind of childish. Must be out of my demographic. That or it just sucks. That. It's the first manga set I've ever got when I was a little kid. I'm sure the story doesn't hold up. The humor's probably really cheesy. But it's got sentimental value to me, you know? Funny. I never pegged you as a sensitive guy. Well, I'm no wuss. I'll fight if I have to, but I'm not a heartless jerk either. Hey, there's only one jerk in this club, and it's not you. Besides, you don't need to worry about me judging a book by its cover. The good stuff is always on the inside anyway. In fact, pull the first volume of Captain Kidd from a box. Why don't you take me on a little trip back to your childhood? Really? Sure, it'll be fun. Check out the front cover. Features 4 teenage boys striking animated fighting poses. Looks like any ninja series that caters to boys. Come on. I grab Natsuko's arm and pull him out of the closet. Take a seat against the wall behind the windowsills. Pat the ground next to me, signaling him to sit there. He takes his seat. Say, this is way better than using chairs. Right? It's easier for us both to see the book this way. Actually, I meant it's because we get to sit all close together like this. I kind of expected this level of flirtatiousness from him. Not that it's a particularly bad thing. Calm down, Casanova. We're just reading a manga. Natsuko giggles in amusement as I open the book. He leans in a bit. He seems to be more eager to begin reading than I am. Man, how long has it been since I read this? Getting the nostalgic feels, are we? All the feels. I don't think I've read this in 8 years? Whoa. I look at him curiously. Now that it's been brought up, I can't help but wonder. How old is Natsuko anyway? Yeesh, that's probably something I should find out before I go any further with this. So you're like, what, 5 or 6 when you last read this? Natsuki suddenly shoots me an annoyed stare. Seriously? You think I'm around 14 years old? No. Damn it, do I really not know how to count? 8 plus 6 is 16, right? No, what am I talking about? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... Ah, I suck at math! Natsuko visibly shudders. Ugh, I hope you'd assume I'm older before trying to hit on me. That's not... I didn't... My ability to articulate vanishes. There's no recovery from this situation I've gotten myself into. I mean, now I look like a total pervert. 10. Jesus, you're 10? What? What? No! I mean, I was 10 the last time I read this manga. Jeez, you're so weird. So you're 18? Yes, I'm 18 years old. Sheesh. I exhale. I didn't even realize I was holding my breath. Natsuki looks at me with the mischievous expression. I'd surf that. Surf what? That wave of relief washing over you right now. He grins smugly, obviously quite proud of himself. Meanwhile, my face couldn't be any redder. Time to change the subject. Whatever, are we reading this comic or not? Calm down. Calm down, nothing's even happened yet. We can still talk. Well, what should I expect from this? Is there gonna be a plot? Of course there's gonna be a plot. It just takes a while to get to the good stuff. Some stories start out really slow and simple, but it's only to help you get to know the characters. It's still entertaining. Later on, when the action starts, we dive deeper into the backstories, and that's when all the cool fighting starts to happen. That's what really makes it good. All those awesome battle scenes. That actually sounds pretty cool. Ha, just you wait. We read on for a few minutes. Finish a couple chapters at this point. I glance over and jump a little. Itsuko's staring right at my face. You, need something? Nope. I'm just watching you read. That's not boring for you? Not at all. It's not every day I get to share my manga and comics with others. I'm having fun here. Well, I can see where you're coming from. I get really happy when I can convince my friends to play video games with me. That must be nice. Being able to get your friends to experience something you're passionate about. You don't share your comics and manga with your friends? I wish. Most people grow out of comics and manga by a certain age, so everyone just thinks I'm immature for being into it. Pisses me off. I know people like that. It takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less who are into it though. But I gotta ask, if you're so worried about being judged by your friends, why keep this collection in the club room? You would think something as valuable as a comic collection would be kept at home anyway. Yeah, right, I can't keep my collection in my room. I don't even know what my mom would do if she found out if I have them. I furrow my brows a little. His mom must really hate manga. It's safe here in the club room. Except when Mario is being an arrogant jerk about it. Sometimes I want to punch him in the face. Ditto on that. But hey, at least you get to share your comics with me. And you can rest assured I won't judge. Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Diverse. After all, we comic book reading, video game playing losers need to stick together, right? Loser? Hey, speak for yourself. Jeez, are we gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flip the page. Etsuki suddenly bursts out laughing. Right in my ear. Kinda startles me. I totally forgot that happens. He leans over and points to a panel. Moji's my favorite character. He's the comic relief, but you always kind of feel bad about laughing at him because of how unlucky he is. Gets especially bad when maybe I shouldn't be talking about that. Just keep reading. You'll see. Etsuku's voice sparkles with excitement, but he explains everything in a surprisingly slow and detailed manner. It's a stark contrast to his usual fast-talking, flippant behavior. But if he is not used to staring his comics with his friends, I can understand his eagerness. It's hard to put into words the feelings you get when you connect with someone like that. I'm more than happy to indulge him like this, though. Seeing him happy makes me smile to myself. Alright, guys. Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on! Are you serious? You have the worst timing. Well, sorry to break up your little love-in over there, but I need to make sure we have enough time. Love-in? Sitting so close to Natsuko wasn't bothering me before, but having Matsuo pointed out so bluntly makes it feel a little embarrassing. I hastily jump to my feet. Natsuko growls at Mario as he slowly rises, gripping the book tightly. Alright, I guess we'll stop there for now. Natsuki suddenly thrusts the book at me. But what, you think you're just gonna stop in the middle? Don't you want to know what happens? Well, yeah, but just take it home with you and finish reading it tonight. You're okay with that? I say that mostly because I really, really don't want to spend my spare time reading this. Of course I am. I trust you won't destroy it. Please don't, by the way. Besides, it would take forever to read if you didn't take it home. Just finish it tonight so we can start the next one tomorrow. And I cannot stress this enough. Don't destroy it. By tomorrow? Alright. Well, it looks like I'm stuck reading this. It'll cost me a few hours of game time. But I suppose it's a necessary sacrifice to make in exchange for seeing Natsuko's enthusiastic face. I stand up and return to where I left my stuff. I slip the book into my bag. Alright, that's all 3 routes. Or at least the first part of it. But, me being a Sayori fan, I'm gonna go through this. Alright, awesome. I haven't talked to Matteo in a really long time, so I'm just gonna go with it. Oh, yeah. I should read the, intro scenes. I should start with Matteo. Yesterday, he seemed eager to read my poem, and I want him to know I'm putting in effort. Alright, awesome. Oh, wait, I should probably... I know what I should do. So that I don't have to skip through all this again. I'm gonna do this. Right? Like this? Perfect! I should start with Matteo. Yesterday, he seemed eager to read my... wait, I already did this one. How about Yuri? Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with him. I can trust his opinion to be fair. Alright. Next is Natsuko. I told Natsuko I was interested in his poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with him first. Alright. A boop, boop. Satori. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Satori first. He's my good friend after all. Holy smokes! This is so good, Diverse! I really love it! I had no idea you were such a good writer. I think you may be overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, that's perfect then. Because I have no idea what I like. Satori chuckles. Hopefully Yuri's and Natsuko's opinions are more constructive than this. Ah, you just like it because I wrote it. Well, that's part of it. I do understand you better than anyone else. Your poem isn't just a poem to me, you know? It's a diverse poem. So it makes it extra special to me. I feel like I can feel your feelings through it. You're sweet, Satori. You had no advice to offer, and I've learned absolutely nothing about writing from this exchange. But you're very sweet. I'm just happy that you actually wrote one. Shows that you're taking this seriously. Of course. I may not be totally into it yet, but I'm still gonna put in some effort. Well, it definitely shows. You didn't have to do this, you know? I mean, we both know why you decided to join. But it seems like you're really putting effort into writing, and I appreciate that. It's true that I initially joined this club in the hopes of getting to know the others. But I'd be lying if I said Satori had nothing to do with it. This club does mean a lot to him, after all. And don't worry, I'll keep my word to help you impress whoever you're interested in. It'll be my way of thanking you. I'm gonna hold you to that. Deal. Anyway, wanna read my poem now? I'm not very good at this. I'll be the judge of that. Morning person. Hey, it's the classic music! Morning person. Good morning. How are you? I hope that you slept well. Let's see a smile on your face. This is the kind of person I wish I was in the morning. But I'm not. I'm not a morning person. Good morning? Whatever. I couldn't sleep all night. How can I wake up with a smile when the first thing I want to do is fight? I wish I was a morning person, but I guess I'm just a grumpy Gus. I wish I could wake up with a warm feeling, but the first thing out of my mouth is a cuss. No point in complaining, though. Sleep will have to wait. I'm up now. Time for breakfast. Satori, when did you write this? It's a secret. You wrote this just this morning, didn't you? No! Maybe a little bit. You can't answer a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. But hey, I tried my best. Well, truthfully, it is pretty good for something that was thrown together in 5 minutes. I like how you have bits that rhyme and bits that don't. It's pretty cool. It does make me wonder what you can write if you actually took the time to think about it first. Well, I happen to write better when I do it last minute than when I sit to think about it. Well, that sounds like something that would work for you. This poem is all you, in fact. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast before I came to get you. Ah, that's why we got to school later than usual. It's bad to skip breakfast. You know what makes me cranky. Yeah, because you never have cranky days on a full stomach. Anyway, thanks for sharing your poem with me. Wasn't this fun? I'm really glad Matteo came up with this idea. Yeah, he's the best. And tomorrow I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Satori seems too excited about his writing to pick up on my sarcasm. Okay, but if it sucks, I get to ridicule you harshly. That's not... Satori, chill. I'm just messing with you. Man, it's hard to tell with you sometimes. I'm sure whatever you write will be awesome, and I look forward to reading it. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's say... Matteo. So diverse, having fun so far? Yeah, absolutely. I suppose that's good then. By the way, since you're new and all, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, maybe new activities or things we can improve on, remember, I'm always listening. So don't be afraid to bring things up. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I am better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. But now that I have to go ahead to speak up about things, probably going to when I can. Anyway, do you want to share your poem with me? It's kinda embarrassing, but it's what I agreed to. Oh, I'm sure it's very embarrassing. But don't worry, I won't hold it against you. Thanks. I hand the horse's ass my poem. Matteo chuckles softly to himself. Do you like it? Diverse, your handwriting is atrocious. It's hardly legible. Tell me, were you holding the pencil with your feet? Okay, I get it. I'll work on my handwriting. Jeez. You don't have to be such a jerk about it. Matteo chuckles again, a bit louder this time. His smug attitude only pisses me off even more. From the small assembly of letters I could actually decipher as words, it sounds like something Satori would like. Is that so? Well, you're good friends. It's not surprising that your writing styles are so similar. Well, we're best friends who have a lot in common. But we do have our differences too. If you say so. What do you know about Satori's writing style? Hello? Who subscribed? Oh, William Hosking. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Oh, what do you know about Satori's writing style anyway? I thought this was our first time sharing poems. That may be true, but it doesn't take a genius to know what style each of us are bound to like if you just pay attention. Assuming you're even capable of that. Take Satori for example. I see his writing having a really gentle feel to it, with an occasional spike of hostility. He's an emotional guy who would explore with emotions like happiness and anger. Perhaps even sadness. Sadness? That's where you're wrong, Matteo. I think I would know if my best friend was feeling sad. Would you? Anyway, since it's your first time writing, I suppose you can still experiment with various styles. You're not a lost cause just yet. I definitely plan on trying different things. It will take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. But rest assured, I am not a lost cause. Good to hear. I want to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you after all. Don't force yourself to write the way everyone wants you to write. I mean, it's not like you have to worry about impressing them, right? Right. Anyway, are you ready to read my poem now? Yeah, looking forward to it. You sound thrilled. I mean, we both know you're gonna make me look like an untalented hack. So I'm sorry for not leaping for joy at that opportunity. It's not my fault you choose to see it that way. Whatever, let's just see it already. Looking out. I didn't do that. It wasn't there when I left either. Someone else must have done it. It's just a little hole. Illumination pours through. Curiosity tells me to take a peek. Existential fear keeps me from succumbing to curiosity. For weeks, I ignore the hole in the wall. I occasionally glance at it, but I will not look inside. What am I afraid of? I hear things coming from the other side. Terrible screeching sounds, flashing lights. Time goes on. My curiosity becomes hungrier. I warn myself to not look inside. I tell myself I won't like what I will see. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Finally, I can take no more. The curiosity consumes me. I cave in and peek inside. There you are. I see you. Peeking back at me. They're talking about the real life me. Good to know that Matteo is actually self-aware like Monica is in the base game. So what do you think? Speechless, I see. It's strange. Very freeform, if that's what you call it. Please don't act like you have something constructive to say. We both know you're not there yet. Well, what do you want from me? It's a weird poem. I can't even fathom what it could possibly be about. Ah, well, I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. You might even say it's making them weird. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Like, what kind of epiphany? Well, don't worry about it. It's not important at this point. It'll all make sense later. Okay, then. I guess I'm expected to just ignore that weirdness. So does that mean we're done? I think so. Unless you want something else. I mean, I didn't really learn anything from you. Oh, is that so? Look, you said I should let you know if I have any suggestions for things you could do better, right? Well, how about giving me some helpful writing tips? This way I can walk away with at least some useful knowledge after each of these sessions. Matteo considers my idea for a moment. You know, you might be right. As president, I should offer more advice than the others. Alright then, here's Matteo's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper, then tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. What if I'm using a pencil, so just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Ho honk. What the hell? Alright. Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for him to finish reading. I'm sorry. I promise I'm not ignoring you. It's fine, take your time. Don't force yourself. I keep forgetting that the big guy is jumpy. I need some time to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Alright. Is this your first time writing a poem? Yeah, it is. Shows, right? Yes, I'm afraid it does. So it's that bad, huh? No. It's not bad. It's just Yuri furrows his brows and bites down on his thumb, deep in thought once again. It's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. Yuri sure likes to really think things through before he speaks. Huh. Maybe I could learn something from that. Alright, so there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. Having been through that myself, I learned how to pick up on them. See, new writers try to make their style more deliberate, often picking a subject matter different from the style and then just form-fitting them together. I thought that's a thing for fountain and gel pens. Maybe. Probably, actually. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds his train of thought, his demeanor does a complete 180. His stammering disappears and he sounds more like a teacher than a student. Now, this is not something you can be blamed for, of course. There are many techniques that can go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. All this comes with practice, learning from example and trying new things. It also helps that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuko can be a bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, I suppose you'll see what I mean eventually. Alright. That was weird. I wonder what he has against Natsuko. So, how about I check out your poem now? Yes, of course. I would love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as he hands me his poem. Actually really handsome when he smiles. He seems so serious all the time. I doubt he's this happy about anything very often. Thirst. My mouth is parched. Desperate, I must hydrate. I must rehydrate. I take glass from the cupboard. I open the icebox. Shrinking away from the artificial light, I need for a pitcher of water. I close the door and relish the return of the dark. I fill my glass and drink. Still thirsty, I fill the glass again. Then once more. I empty the pitcher. I remain unsatisfied. I refill the pitcher, only to drain it again. Every sip only leads me thirstier. Insatiable. I must replenish. Or go insane. Candle on the table, matchbox in my hand. The flame flickers. I flicker back. At last, my thirst is quenched. I'm sorry if you have any trouble reading my handwriting. Did you not just see my handwriting? I'm surprised you were able to read it. Your penmanship is perfect. Don't even worry about that. Well, thank you. It's just it took you a long time to read it. Well, maybe I was just rereading it a few times because I really liked it. Have you considered that? Yuri's face turns beet red. He quickly looks away, laughing nervously. There's no way you could think that. Well, I do. I really like your poem, Yuri. I like the imagery and the atmosphere. I like how it made me feel when I was reading it. And I really like how it was short, yet descriptive. It wasn't too short, was it? I usually prefer shorter poems, but can write a longer one next time if you prefer. I can make a dirty joke right now, but I'm bigger than that. Not at all. I'm really happy that you liked it. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Tell me more about this metaphorical thirst in your story. What are you thirsty for? Well, I suppose the answer could be interpreted in many ways. You, as the reader, can feel free to look into it as you'd like. Okay, fine, don't tell me what it's about. You sure know a lot about writing. I'm very impressed. It's nothing, really. But it does make me happy that you think that. Remember, it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too. Well, I'm feeling very inspired by your feedback. So I'll be sure to apply it to my next poem. I'm excited to hear that. I look forward to seeing what you've learned. Ow. I'm looking forward to seeing what you've learned. I'm okay, by the way. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuko! Yep. This is about what I expected from you. Do you mind clarifying what you meant by that? Well, I mean, it's not a bad poem. It's just that you're new to this, so I kind of figured your writing wouldn't evoke any emotions. And it didn't, to be honest. I'm starting to see why Yuri said Natsuko might be biased. Oh, I get it. Not childish enough for your tastes, huh? Hey, this is a literature club, you know? you're gonna share your writing, prepare to receive critique. Fine, fine. Anyway, I guess I better show you my poem now. I know you're gonna really like it, but try to contain yourself. Cars can race, dogs can sniff, and dogs can bark. Cats can see in the dark. Lions roar to show their king. Bees possess a painful sting. Sharks can swim and can attack. Cars can race around a track. Amazing creatures, amazing things. See them all around you. Would they be just as impressed to see the things that you do? You think you're just as good, you're not the type to quit. I suppose it couldn't hurt to try, but really, that's about it. Impressive, right? Well, it's kinda dumb? Yeah, I knew you'd love it. Most everyone in high school thinks writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people usually don't take my writing seriously. Well, you seem like the type who understands how effective simple writing can be. Well, the point of writing is for people to express themselves. A person's writing style wouldn't make their message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I knew you'd understand. I like when something is easy to read, but it hits you hard, like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Wait, this poem was actually about something? The other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. And to me, nothing brings out feeling like poems that rhyme. I reread the poem, fascinated. Now that I know the thought process behind it, I can definitely see the message. I'm actually kind of amazed I missed it the first time. So you did? Wow, more went into this than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad I was able to teach you something. But you didn't expect that from me, did you? I guess not. Thank you for the lesson. I decided to humor him with that last comment. I'm not sure what he meant by that, but if Natsuko's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from him. Alright, here comes the fight scene, I think. If I remember the base game enough, I feel like Natsuko and Yuri are gonna bat heads at each other, and them being boys, it's probably gonna be physical rather than verbally. Knowing that they're boys, it's probably gonna be physical, not verbal. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That wasn't as stressful as I anticipated. I learned what I already knew. My writing abilities are mediocre at best. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. But I still enjoy getting to know everyone and learning about their own techniques. Gotta head off now. See you, Diverse. Alright, Clara, take care. Have a great rest of your day. But I still enjoy getting to know everyone and learning about their own techniques. I notice across the room, Satori and Mario are chatting. My eyes then land on Yuri and Natsuko. They exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I notice each of their expressions change. Natsuko's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. I perk up. I have the feeling that something interesting is about to go down. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Oh, snap. Shorty's triggered. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? Is that what it was? I guess I can see that now. But the language. Yuri struggles to explain his critique while trying to remain as polite as possible. Yeah? What about it? Well, if I may offer a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually likes it. Which people did, by the way. Satori liked it, and Diverse did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time developing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Uh-oh, here we go. Which I haven't yet. And Diverse liked my poem too, by the way. She even said she was impressed by it. Natsuko smirks and leans back in his chair, propping his feet up on the desk. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in impressing our new member, Yuri. What's the remix to Poem Panic gonna sound like? Yuri suddenly stands up. Oh boy, things are getting real. Perhaps you're just jealous that Diverse appreciated the advice of a mature individual more than she appreciated the views of a child. I'm the child? Are you that full of yourself? Besides, how do you know she didn't appreciate my advice more? I don't think I like where this is going. I look away, trying to focus on something else. Maybe if I look over here, they won't notice me. Full of myself, am I? You're the one who gets out of his way to make everything you do overly masculine. As though you're compensating for something. Oh my god. Natsuko suddenly stands up. And just what the hell is that supposed to mean? You know what it means. Oh, you know what? I'm not the one who started stuffing his pants with socks as soon as Diverse started showing up. Oh my god! Natsuko! Suddenly, both guys turned towards me as if they just noticed I was sitting there. Damn it, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Now I just have to avoid staring at Yuri's crotch. And I already failed. Luckily, he's too distracted to notice. Diverse! He's lying! He just wants to make me look bad. That's not true. He started it. If he could get over himself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. I mean, what even is the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to try and figure it out. Help me explain that to him, Diverse. Hold on. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey feeling and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Diverse? Whoa. Well? Why the hell did they go and drag me into this? I don't even know anything about writing. I mean, whoever I agree with will definitely think more highly of me. So, of course, that's gonna be... I want to hear... I mean, I know I'm not supposed to drag Satori into this, but... I'll probably do Yuri first. Natsu? You're right that I liked your poem. See? Hold on! That's no excuse for you to be so mean. Why pick a fight with someone just because their opinion is different from yours? That's his fault. He wouldn't even take my poem seriously. Ugh. Why do I have to be the one to handle this? I look around for support, but Satori and Mateo are just standing there staring at me. Clearly, they're not going to be of any help. Ugh, all right. I turn to Yuri. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed by your poem too. But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsu felt provoked when you said his poem was cute. I see. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. And Natsu, next time, keep the critique helpful and literature related. No need for the personal insults. Are you kidding me? He's the one who threw the first insult. Natsuko does have a point there. I glance over at Yuri. I did, didn't I? I'm so sorry for that, Natsuko. Please forgive me. Well, I think we can agree you both said some things neither of you meant. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too, Natsu? Natsuko growls and clenches his fist. Alright, fine. I'm sorry, okay? Natsuko drops back into his seat, crossing his arms in defiance. I look across the room. Yuri walks over to his desk and sits down with his chin resting in his hand. I gingerly approach him and sit in the adjacent seat. You alright, big guy? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You must think I'm a pretentious Chad. Excuse me. You must think I'm a pretentious cad. Of course not. Could have been worse. You handled it as well as anyone could. I could have handled it better. I should have handled it better. I know better. Don't beat yourself up. You apologized. That was big of you. It says a lot about your character. I'm impressed. Do you mean that? Of course I do. You believe me, right? Yes, I believe you. Thank you, Diverse. I'm really happy you joined the club. I'm happy to be here. Also, that one thing Natsuko said about, you know, it's completely untrue. My eyes start to travel south, but I instantly force themselves back up to Yuri's face. Don't respond with something stupid. Don't respond with something stupid. I know, I can tell. Why are words allowed to escape my face? Well, I'm going to go make some tea. Yuri quickly stands up and scurries away. I sigh and bury my face in my hands. Man, it really was something, wasn't it? I slowly pick up my head and shoot an enraged glare at Satori's clueless face. You suck! Satori jumps back in surprise. Well, what did I do? Not a damn thing. That's the problem. You saw what was going on and just stood there like a lump. What kind of vice president are you? I look up at Mario, who's standing a few feet away. And you! Captain Useless! Where the hell were you, huh? I beg your pardon? You heard me. There was just a huge conflict in the club, and neither of you nor Satori put any effort into stopping it. You guys are supposed to be the leaders. That means putting your foot down when the situation calls for it. You don't leave the responsibility to the newest member. Satori looks away, clearly embarrassed. Mario glares at me for a moment, and to my surprise, he averts his gaze and drops the scowl. I suppose you might have a point. Perhaps I should have interjected. I'm sorry. I should have been paying attention. Tell you what, if I have to learn to be a poet, then you two need to learn to be better leaders. Deal? You got a deal, Diverse. I look at Matteo skeptically. What about you? Rest assured, I will be taking control from now on. I suppose I owe you my gratitude for your surprisingly enlightening advice. Mario smiles at me. My stomach knots up. Ugh, why does he have to be so dashing? It's fine. Alright, guys. Time to go to the next part of this. Natsuko. Yuri? You're insanely talented. But Natsu does have a point. I think conveying feelings with a few words can be just as impressive. It lets the reader's imagination take over. Natsu's poem did a really good job at that. Natsuki beams proudly. And Natsu? What all of us talked about yesterday? It's true. Writing is a really personal thing and sharing it can be hard. We all learned that today. Even a small amount of criticism can lead to a pretty heated debate. I see Satori nodding approvingly from the corner of my vision. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened, Natsu. You're a great writer. Natsuko blushes and smiles gently to himself. Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for him as well. Yuri, I'm sure Natsu didn't mean the things he said. You're an amazing writer too. So you don't need to feel threatened either. If you say so. Diverse, don't apologize for me. I'm man enough to do that myself. Natsuko looks at Yuri. That thing I said about, stuffing your pants. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know exactly if it's true or not, but I'm sorry I said it. That said, Natsuko crosses his arms and looks away stubbornly. I sigh. Well, that apology could have been more sincere. Satori playfully nudges Yuri. Hey, I have PE with Yuri. Trust me, every inch he's packing is 100% natural. My gaze instantly shifts back to Yuri's crotch. God damn it, you two! This time, he notices. Both of our faces turn bright red. I'll go make some tea. Yuri hurries off. Satori smiles proudly at me. I helped! My glare meets his dumb grin. That's where you decide to jump in? I needed your help like 5 minutes ago. You just stood there smiling like an idiot when I broke up the fight. What the hell kind of vice president are you? Realizing his mistake, Satori blushes and looks away embarrassingly. I'm sorry, I didn't think— And you! I turn towards Matteo, who's standing off to the side watching. What were you during that little fiasco? Watching from the sidelines while I did your job? Matteo glares at me for a moment. Then to my surprise, he averts his gaze and drops the scowl. I suppose you might have a point. Perhaps I should have interjected. Yeah, me too. Both of them look dejectedly at the ground. I sigh. Tell you what, if I have to learn to be a poet, then you two need to learn to be better leaders. Deal? You got a deal, Diverse. I look at Matteo skeptically. What about you? Gonna step up your game and be a real leader? Rest assured, I will be taking control from now on. I suppose I owe you my gratitude for your surprisingly enlightening advice. Matteo smiles at me. My stomach knots up. Ugh, why does he have to be so dashing? It's fine. And then the last one. Natsuko, Yuri, both stare at me intensely, drying up any words I had in my mouth. I'm gonna need some backup. I look around and see Satori sitting at his chair, flipping through his notebook, seemingly oblivious to everything. I run over and grab him by the arm, dragging him towards the others. Satori! What? That's right, everyone's fighting is making Satori uncomfortable. How could the two of you keep this up, knowing you're making your friend feel like this? Satori plucks out the earbuds attached to his phone. People are fighting? I sigh, fixating my annoyed glare on his clueless face. Oh, he doesn't even care! Besides, this isn't about him. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their feelings into our conflict. Oh, but I'm expected to interject my feelings into their conflict. Yeah, unless Satori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk he's being. He would never. It's your immaturity that's made everyone so upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself right now? This is exactly— Alright, knock it off! I surprise everyone with my outbursts, including myself. Yuri, Natsuko, you guys are friends. And over time, I hope you'll think of me as your friend too. Because that's what I want. I want us all to get along and be happy. You guys must be wonderful people or else Satori wouldn't think so highly of you. And I respect his opinion more than anything. Diverse. You guys are awesome because of your differences. Natsu's poem was amazing because it gave so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poem was amazing because it painted such a beautiful picture in my head. You're both so talented. Why are you even fighting? You should be respecting your differences in your styles. Not berating each other for not being clones of each other's styles. And you know what, Natsu? There's nothing wrong with liking kid stuff. I do too. And Yuri... I pause looking for the least perverted way of saying this. I'm sure whatever you're packing is 100% natural and you should be very proud. Nailed it. Gosh, Diverse. I stand triumphantly. I spot Matteo standing behind everyone else wearing a curious expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri hurries away. Asuka sits down with a blank expression, staring into the air. I'm starting to think you should be the vice president instead of me. Hey, if I'm gonna usurp any position of power, I'm going for the title of head honcho. I say this in front of Mario, who stares at me in surprise. I beg your pardon? You heard me. There was just a huge conflict in the club, and neither you nor Satori put any effort into stopping it. You guys are supposed to be the leaders. That means putting your foot down when the situation calls for it. You don't leave that responsibility to the newest member. Satori looks away, clearly embarrassed. Matsuya glares at me for a moment. Then, to my surprise, he averts his gaze and drops a scowl. I suppose you might have a point. Perhaps I should have interjected. I'm sorry. I should have been paying attention. Tell you what, if I have to learn to be a poet, then you two need to learn to be better leaders. Deal? You got a deal, Diverse. I look at Mario skeptically. What about you? Rest assured, I will be taking control from now on. I suppose I owe you my gratitude for your surprisingly enlightening advice. Mario smiles at me. My stomach knots up. Why does he have to be so dashing? It's fine. Alright guys, perfect. Yep, I'm probably gonna keep that one because... Yep. I'm gonna keep that route. Alright guys, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? I had fun. I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Diverse, how about you? Well, it started off slow, but then it got interesting. It was a cool thing to discuss with everyone too. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from everyone today too. I expect to see a significant improvement from you tomorrow. I did learn a lot from everyone here today. Enough at least to impress who I want to impress. And with Satori as my wingman, I'm confident I can do this. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Diverse, ready to walk home? Yep, let's head out. Satori beams at me. It's nice to be able to walk home from school together like we used to. Hey Satori. Yeah? About what happened earlier. That fight between Natsu and Yuri. Does that happen often? I've never seen them act like that. I mean, it's not unusual for guys to show off when they're around a cute girl. Oh, so I'm getting the blame for this? Yes, it's all your fault. Your hotness is tearing this club apart. We both get a chuckle out of that one. Nah, they really are good guys. Please don't hate them. I don't hate them. True, they didn't exactly score points with me by dragging me into their fight, but I won't hold it against them. I was just wondering if it's common for them to fight, that's all. I trust that they're good people if you think so highly of them. That's a relief. Excuse me. I like seeing you get along with everyone. I can tell you're having fun. I am having fun. Thanks for helping me out with that. Of course! Tomorrow's gonna be even better. Remember, if you like either Yuri or Natsu, you might want to consider reading with one of them. That'll really make them happy. I smile. It's so wonderful having Satori support my little scheme here. Thanks for the advice. Let's see what tomorrow holds. Alright, day 2. Let's see. I'm gonna get Sayori first again. Oh, I'm at... crap. I just want to know whose word is this. Ah. Oh boy. Which of these? Okay, yeah. What? That is not pure. Natsuko is not pure at all. Absolutely not. But okay. Oh, I thought that would have been a Satori word. Oop. Oh, damn it. Okay. Okay, there we go. What? Okay. Oh, come on! Okay, that's her word. Or his word. See, I'm so used to the base game that, you know. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's see if I got Sayori. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. Gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. I'm in a club room drowsily. Atsuko and Mario aren't here yet and Yuri's busy reading his book. Satori's sitting at a desk across the room with his face resting in his hand. He's probably as exhausted as I am. I quickly sleep into the seat next to him. Yo, Satori. Don't you yo Satori me! Well, someone's grumpy today. Gee, I wonder why that is. Smile a little to myself. Yesterday after school, Satori came over to hang out and we ended up playing video games. All night. What time did we stop playing? We fell asleep at around 4. Console was still on when we woke up. We didn't stop playing. We simply passed out. You know, I only agreed to come over if you promised to turn the games off at a reasonable hour. But you didn't. Now we both look like zombies. I hope you're happy. Well, I am. And you should be too. We may be tired, but at least we had fun. Besides, all we need is a little snack to boost our energy. I'm starving. Me too. Do you have money? No. Do you? No. I look over at Yuri and give Sayori a playful nudge. Hey Satori, let's ambush Yuri and rob him. What? You hold him down, I'll take his wallet. Are you insane? I can hear everything you two are saying. In any case, assaulting me would be pointless. I haven't got any money either. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after you two pulled an irresponsible little stunt like last night, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Jeez, dude. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. What the hell is he reading? How to be a serial killer in 10 easy steps? No worries, Yuri. I like when you speak your mind. Doesn't happen often, but it's a fun side of you. Thanks, Satori. Suddenly, Natsuko walks in. He appears to be in a chipper mood as he greets us all before making his way to his desk in the back of the room. I put my nose to the air and sniff. There's that sweet scent again. Satori notices my demeanor change. You smell something? I continue to sniff the air excitedly. Satori sits up. What is it, girl? What do you smell? Sniff it out. My eyes become locked on Natsuko, who is cheerfully pulling a notebook and pencil out of his bag. The scent intensifies when he unzips the bag. I look at Satori confidently. Our stomachs rumble deeply. All logic gives in to desperate hunger. We both get up and swiftly make our way towards Natsuko. Hey guys, how's it go? He trails off. Satori takes a seat on one side of him and I take the seat on the other side. Our unblinking gazes are locked on Natsuko's confused face. He fidgets nervously. What are you guys staring at? You smell like cupcakes again. Natsuki becomes increasingly nervous. He looks at Satori for mercy. We're starving, Nat. Where are they? Natsuko looks back at me, visibly sweating. Come on, dude. We're languishing here. In sheer panic, Natsuko finally peers at Yuri. Yuri? It would be best for you to relinquish the sweets, unless you wish for them to feast on you instead. Yuri doesn't even take his eyes off his book. Something tells me that even our intentions were aggressive. Yuri would continue nonchalantly reading. Satori and I lean in closer, trapping Natsuko even more. Nat, feed us! Finally, Natsuko stomps his foot in defeat. You two are bullies, you know that? Ugh, fine. Here, you pair of ravenous wolves. I was gonna share him anyway. Natsuko reaches into his bag and pulls out a tin. He tosses on a desk behind him. Top pops off from the forest, revealing a variety of beautifully decorated fancy cookies. Without thinking, Satori and I are on it instantly. I can only imagine the grimacing looks on Yuri and Natsuki's faces. The noises we make as we devour the cookies are probably horrific from the perspective. In seconds flat, we both retreat, leaving behind only a few broken cookies at the bottom of the tin. Gah! You practically ate them all! You savages! Here, you forgot to eat the tin. Natsuki tosses the tin across the room in our direction. Yuri gives an amused chuckle. Satisfied, Satori and I trot away to safety. That sugar boost was just what we needed. We're sorry, Nat. Diverse and I were so hungry. We owe you one, okay? One? One? You owe me an entire batch, you bottomless pit! Jeez, Mateo, can you please tell these Natsuko glances around. Mateo isn't here. What the? Where is he? I've been wondering that as well. Do you two know anything about where he might be? I haven't heard anything. Diverse? I cease picking cookies out of my teeth for a moment and look over to Satori. What? Have you seen Mateo today? Fortunately for me, I have not. It's not like him to be late. He's usually quite punctual. Oh, calm down. He probably just had something to do today. Or someone. Satori and Natsuko chuckle a little. I've already checked out the conversation and gone back to licking cookie crumbs off my teeth. Maybe Mateo has a... you know. Satori winks and nudges me. Mateo has something and apparently I'm to guess what it is. Maybe I should have been paying attention to the conversation. A colonoscopy appointment? A colonoscopy appointment? Satori gives me a blank stare. Clearly that wasn't the answer he was looking for. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Wow, your ability to flawlessly read social cues is astounding. Shut up. I meant maybe he has a girlfriend. Well, he is pretty popular after all. I wouldn't be surprised. Maggio's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Speak for yourself. Suddenly the door swings open and Maggio rushes inside. Apologies everyone, I didn't mean to be late. I hope no one was worried. If it makes you feel better, I didn't notice or care. He looks at me from the corner of his eye. Diverse. Back again, I see. You won't be getting rid of me that easily. I'm impressed by your determination. Let's see if you can keep it up. Why were you late today? Girlfriend problems? Mayo looks at Sayori with a very bewildered expression. Girlfriend? I don't have... Mario trails his sentence before scoffing and looking away. I guess he's single. I wonder why that could be. No, that's not the reason I was late. So why were you late? Mario darts his eyes over to me. I thought you didn't care. Oh, I didn't, but talking about it seems to bother you. So now I'm all ears. I expect him to snap or at the very least ignore me completely, but to my surprise, he gives me a little smirk. Well, not that it matters, but my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I just kinda lost track of time. How'd you not hear the bell? There's the angry glare I was expecting. But for some reason, he reserves it for Natsuko's question. If you must know, I didn't hear it because I was practicing guitar. Everyone in the room looks a bit surprised by this information. Guitar? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Matteo. Yeah, but guitar? That's weird. I'd expect someone like you to play a fancy instrument.
Like piano or violin or something. Mario rolls his eyes in annoyance. Of course I play piano. I've been playing piano since I was 4 years old. I just wanted to try something different. That's pretty cool. You should play for all of us sometime. Matteo suddenly looks at me. I will soon, once I get a little better. What the hell is he looking at me for? I didn't even say anything. And perhaps you'll be there as well, Diverse? I'd be delighted to play for you if you manage to stay in this club long enough. Matteo smiles sweetly. Why is he being so... his version of nice all of a sudden? Nah, yeah. Looking forward to it. You are quite confident about your ability to stay in the club, aren't you? I like that. In that case, I wait to show you what I can do. He smiles at me again. There's something oddly suggestive about that smile. This makes me feel a little... I'm excited to see that, Mario. Good luck to you. Thanks. So did I miss anything? Satori and I both snap our heads towards Natsuko, expecting him to tattle on us for inhaling his tin of cookies. He eyeballs us for a moment, but in the end remains silent. I turn back to Matteo. Nope. Everything's been normal. I'm sure Natsuko will bring it up to him eventually. I look around. Everyone has already begun to settle in. Yuri's back to his book and Natsuko wanders back into the closet. Hey Diverse, alright, this is Satori's route. So I'm just gonna save here. And I'm just gonna go this way. Hey Diverse, I'm gonna go grab some supplies from another classroom. Come with me. What are the supplies for? To make posters and stuff for the festival. We're looking for crayons, markers, glue sticks. Crayons and glue sticks? Are we trying to target creative 7-year-olds for our event? We're gonna throw together some macaroni pictures too? Smarty pants. You coming with me or not? Yeah, I'm coming. Great, hey Matteo, we'll be back soon. Is that so? Don't you think Diverse would benefit from spending some time in here reading instead? I'm sure I can find her something productive to do. In fact, Mario grins at me. Maybe she'd like to help me with some things today. I think that would be best. What the? Mario wants to spend time with me? I can feel my stomach tighten again. I don't know what's gotten into him today. Maybe he finally sees that I'm taking this club seriously? Whatever the case may be, I'm pretty curious to see where this is going. I glance over pleadingly at Sayori. Come on, Len, let me see what this jerk has planned for me. But his expression changes. He narrows his eyes as he steps closer to Matteo. Well, with all due respect, Mr. President, I wasn't exactly asking your permission. I stare wide-eyed at Sayori. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Testosterone seems to fill the air as the two of them face off. Satori maintains his cold stare. To my surprise, Matteo is the first to timidly look away. Alright, fair enough. It was only a suggestion anyway. Come on, Diverse. Let's go. Don't forget the poster paper. Mario hisses that as Sayori walks out of the room. I follow quietly. Once outside, Satori walks several feet before stopping and covering his face with his hand. I quickly trot to his side. Hey Satori, you want to maybe tell me what that was about? He shakes his head. I start to worry. I'm so sorry I had to do that. What do you mean? I could tell you wanted to spend time with Matteo. I'm really sorry I had to ruin that for you, but I need your help. Oh, well, hey, if you need help, I'm always here for you. Forget about Matteo. What do you need from me, buddy? You're the best, Diverse. The thing is, Satori looks around suspiciously. Is he trying to make sure no one is listening? He leans in and whispers. I forgot to write a poem last night. What, again? Oh, for goodness sake, Sayori. Hey, I was kind of preoccupied playing video games with you last night. What about your poem? I know you didn't do it last night either. True, but I at least had the foresight to do it during lunch. Why didn't you? Well, I guess I didn't think of it. Well, that's just great. So while you're busy throwing together a poem, I'll be the one looking for supplies? That's the plan. You're not mad at me, are you? Of course not. I'm just glad you're okay. Your freak out back there had me a little concerned. Sorry. That did get a little more intense than it should have. I'm not sure why, but something about how he said that. It made me want to punch him in the face. I'm a little relieved to hear that I wasn't imagining the high tension between Satori and Matteo a few minutes ago. There definitely seemed to be more to that than just the excuse to get me out of the room to help him. That sudden spike of aggression, though. It's okay, Satori. I want to punch him in the face, too. He gives me a little smirk. Curious as I may be, I decided it's best to let it go. Whatever happened back there was probably just a guy thing. What are we even doing for the festival anyway? I mean, how do you make an event for literature? Oh, don't worry. Mario and I have everything planned out. We're doing a poetry performance. A performance? Like, studying poetry in front of people? Exactly! We're all gonna take turns on stage reading our favorite poems to everyone. Wow, that sounds mind-numbingly boring. Whoa, partner! That kind of excitement sounds like too much for people to handle. I mean, we don't want to distract from the other events at the festival, you know? Okay, first of all, no one thinks you're funny. And secondly, you're not looking at this the right way at all. We're not just reading the poems, we're performing them. So you gotta read the lines, like, above my head. The last remaining star beckons to me. I reach up and pluck it from this curtain of night. I hold the glow gem to my chest, absorbing its brilliant light. Consequences of my self-acts soon become clear to me. For now, the sky has lost all its dazzling stones. The moon, once surrounded by her children, now floats all alone. And the world is shrouded in darkness because of me. Like that. Wow, you've swayed me, Shakespeare. When you perform it that way, it's guaranteed to only put half our audience to sleep. Oh, shut up. So uncultured. Come on, man, I can't take you seriously when you talk like that. I mean, it's awesome that you got so much passion for this. It just feels weird because I'm not used to seeing this side of you. I didn't even know you like poetry. So hearing you sound so articulate, well, it's kind of attractive. Don't say things like that. It's embarrassing. But I guess it means I'm doing a good job. You are. And you're right. I am uncultured. But who knows, maybe the festival will change that. Yeah, I'll make sure the festival changes us both for the better. Hey look, one of your favorite rooms. Siri stops in front of one of the empty detention rooms. I look away with a scowl. He chuckles in amusement as he peeks through the window. Well, it doesn't look like your blazer is in here. But of course not! I have it right. Crap! Once again, my blazer is absent from my waist. Maybe you should learn to tie a proper knot. Maybe you should learn to shut up. Satori giggles once again. Wow, so mature of you. Come on, dummy, let's go. The two of us enter the classroom. Satori wastes no time grabbing a blank sheet of paper from the closet and a pen from his pocket. Alright, I'm gonna get started on my poem. You ransack the closet. Aye, aye, Captain. Excuse me. I start poking around in the closet. I spot a full box of crayons and pull them down from the shelf. The box is a little heavier than I anticipated. Once the shelf is no longer supporting it, the box slips through my fingers. I fumble, attempting to catch it with my other hand. My fingers grip too late and the box bounces off my open palm. A poor attempt to catch it again with my other hand just knocks it further from me. The box loudly crashes at the ground and the crayons roll in all directions. Shit! Hey, what are you doing? I quickly look up at Satori trying to be cool. What? Nothing. What are you doing? What am I? You know I'm trying to write this poem. So write your poem. No one's stopping you. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Worry about what you're doing. Do your thinking, I'll do mine. Quit making things weird. Jeez. Smooth. Satori looks at me suspiciously for a few moments before slowly bringing his attention back to his poem. As soon as his head is down, I drop to my knees and begin quickly scooping up the crayons, dumping them haphazardly into the box. The fall caused some of the crayons to break. By the time I'm finished, the box is bursting from the seams and the top no longer closes. Crayons poke out on the top and sides. I place the overflowing box on the desk. There we go. Good as new. I go back in the closet and start searching for the rest of the supplies. Alright, I'm pretty sure I found everything. Crayons, markers, glue sticks, poster paper. I even found some little boxes of glitter. I can imagine the festive posters that can be made with this stuff. I'm sure the local second graders will be very impressed. Hey Satori, I got all the stuff. You done yet? Just 1 second. There! Satori holds up his poem, looking it over with a whimsical smile. Perfect! The best poem ever! Just like I said it would be. Sweet. Let's see it. I walk over and reach for the poem, but Satori quickly pulls it away. He holds it high above his head. Hey, what's the deal? You can't see it yet. You have to wait until we share our poems in the club. Are you serious? I sure am. It wouldn't be fair to the others. Ugh, fine. You're such a goody-goody here. I take the supplies, markers, crayons, glue sticks, and glitter bottles folded into poster paper, put them into a box, and thrust it into Sayori's torso. He quickly supports it with both arms. His fingers clutch his poem beneath the load. Now, when we get to the club room, I'll distract everyone while you take this stuff to your desk. Slip the poem into your bag while they're not looking, okay? Ah, good idea, Diverse. It's the only kind I have. Debatable. Oh, what do you know? Let's just go before they come looking for us. We exit the classroom. Hey, Diverse. Yeah? You know, this kind of takes me back to when we were kids. Remember? I followed you everywhere and did everything you said. You'd get us in all kinds of trouble. But you always seem to be able to talk your way out of it. You're so clever and quick-witted. I've always admired that about you. I used to wish I could be just like you. And to be honest, I still kinda do. You're the most clever person I've ever known. And even now, all these years later, you're still coming up with plans to get me out of the trouble you got me into in the first place. I blush a little at the sentiment and the memories. Satori. I know it's sappy, but I'm really glad we're still best friends. I hope nothing ever changes that, you know? I don't want anything about our friendship to change. Really? I'm the exact opposite. I look forward to change. Huh? But why? Because everything grows, Sayori. Just like us. Every day, I feel like our bond grows stronger. Our loyalty to each other grows stronger. Our trust. Don't you think? Are we not even closer now than ever? I guess so, yeah. So, you see, our friendship is constantly changing. It only gets deeper and deeper with each passing season. With each rotation of the Earth and with each trip around the sun. In fact, the only thing I wouldn't change is the inevitability that everything will change. Diverse, that's so poetic. Maybe you should write it down and share it with the club. No. It's not for them. Some poems are just for you and me. Satori suddenly looks at me in a way he never has before. I smile and look away, but I can still feel his gaze linger. I wonder if something changed just now. We walk back to the club room the rest of the way in silence. We're back! That took longer than anticipated. We found everything we'll need. Sure did. Sorry it took so long. These teachers really need to learn to organize the stuff in their closets. I quickly make eye contact with Sayori and shift my gaze to the back of the room. He picks up on my cue instantly. I'm gonna go set this stuff in the back. Don't trouble yourself, Sayori. I'll take it from here. Mateo suddenly reaches for the supplies. Satori gives me a worried look. Time for me to step in. I'll help too! I grab the flimsy crayon box. It's barely holding together. I give it a little squeeze. The box bursts and the seams in the crayons explode everywhere. Oops, I'm so sorry! Oh, I'm such a clumsy idiot. I look at Satori and gesture for him to continue heading to the back of the room. He nods. You help her clean those up, Matteo. I have this. Right. Matteo sinks to his knees and starts picking up the crayons. I do the same. To my surprise, Natsuko and Yuri lay their books down and come help us. As the three of them busily scoop up crayons, I look over at Sayori. You know, honestly, if Matteo was just a regular character and not being able to be self-aware and trying to connect to the player, I really would be feeling sympathetic for him. Or, okay, not sympathetic, I mean. And I feel like everything that he has kind of comeuppance, feels like he's getting comeuppance, but knowing that he probably will later on confess his feelings to the real me, I don't know how to feel about it. Especially considering that he's a guy. Or maybe it might be a thing just to know the real person more. It's just me here. Probably think so. But I could just be talking to everybody who's probably going to watch this later. As the three of them busily scoop up crayons, I look over at Satori. He sets the supplies on his desk and inconspicuously slips his poem into his bag. He gives me another nod. Mission complete. I smile and continue helping the others collect the crayons. So Matteo, I know you didn't ask for it, but I also grabbed some bottles of glitter. I figure most people are attached to shiny things anyway, so it should draw their attention to the posters. That might work, right? That's true. Good idea, Diverse. Those are the only kind she has. Satori and I grin at each other knowingly. I guess we do make quite a team. Alright guys, are you ready to share your poems? Guess I should go grab mine. I honestly like the contrast that Matteo's catchphrase is "alright guys" instead of "okay everyone." It's like a nice gender fluid response to what would normally be Alright, anyway. I'm gonna do, oh, that's a Satori word? Alright, what the these words I'm supposed to be getting are Yuri words. Alright, sweet. Skip! Oh god, that scared the crap out of me. Oops. Wait a minute! Oh, I meant this part. Crap. Okay. Oh. Crap. Hold on, what? Did I just screw it up? I think I screwed it up. Alright, hold on a second. I know what I'm gonna be doing. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward to this part. And replace this save. There we go. All right. Oh, wait a minute. You're telling me that the second part of this game is literally just Yuri's other CG, just the same one from the same... Hold on, what? Okay, yeah, it literally is just the same scene. What the fuck? Alright, anyway. Let me, go back to... Oh, I just found out that on the second day, Yuri's route is the exact same, reading sensation. I mean, oh wait, I'm trying to get to, Alright, now let's get through Natsuki's route. What? It's the exact same! Alright, well... I'm going to share with Satori first. Wow, Diverse, I really love your poems. Can't believe you've been hiding this talent from me. I'm glad you like them, but really, I'm not hiding anything. Well, your poems are so good, but yesterday's in this one. Have you really never done this before? You know I haven't. Anyway, you're literally the only one in the club who feels that way. Come on, you're telling me that not even Nat likes your poems? Natsu thought my poems sucked last time. Can't really see him liking this one any better. Besides, I already know why you like them so much. Oh, why is that? Because whenever I write my poems, I'm thinking about you. Me? But why? Where's the punctuation at the end? Why do you think? We're best friends. We spend a lot of time together. So much time, in fact, that I think we kind of know each other's thoughts sometimes. We have that kind of connection, you know? Diverse, can I have this poem? I give it a little sigh and soft chuckle. Of course you can, buddy. You can take it home once everyone else sees it. Thank you, it really is a great poem, you know? Alright, no need to make me feel all special about it. Playfully push him. Let me see your poem now. Fine. Here, I hope you like it. I'm sure I will. Sad thoughts. I pop my scalp off the top of my head like the lid of a cookie jar. It's time to clean up in there. Happy thoughts and angry thoughts, all wriggling in the dark crevices of my mind. Happy thoughts are soft and warm. They rub against each other like a bundle of kittens. The angry thoughts are prickly to the touch. The prickles dig into my head and become stuck. The angry thoughts are mean to the happy thoughts. They never get along, so I pluck out the happy thoughts. Since the angry thoughts are way too strong, I put the happy thoughts into bottles where they stay safe and sound. I keep them all up on a shelf for when my friends come into town. The angry thoughts get stronger. The prickles then grow longer. Angry thoughts, angry thoughts, angry thoughts. In my head, they glow. The happy thoughts, they tingle. Their numbers begin to dwindle. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. In bottles all in a row. Night after night, more dreams. Dream after dream, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, searching all the nooks and crannies. The angry thoughts eventually die, but when they do, they become hard and cold. I don't like the way they feel. Sad thoughts, sad thoughts, sad thoughts. Forever embedded in my mind. Dust settles onto my bottle caps. Doesn't feel like time elapsed. I check my head, but find no more. My friends look through my locked front door. I open the door, and in they come. Do they really want my bottles that bad? I pull them down from the shelf and give them to each one of my friends. Each one of my bottles. But when I let the bottles go, they slip out of my hands and shatter on the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, in shards all over the floor. Angry thoughts, angry thoughts, angry thoughts, banging on my door. Sad thoughts, sad thoughts, sad thoughts, eating at my core. My friends are yelling, pleading. My heart is pounding, bleeding. I want the angry thoughts to go away. I want the happy thoughts instead. But all I hear are the sad thoughts going echo, 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 echo. On repeat, inside my head. Holy crap! Satori, I can't believe you really wrote this. Well, of course I did. You were there when I wrote it. Told you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever. I look at the poem over and over again. I lower my eyebrows. This poem is beautiful, but also a bit concerning. Can I ask you a question? Sure. What happens when the cookie jar is empty? What do you mean? I look at the poem again. Each time I read it, I grow increasingly worried. I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but I do feel the need to address my concern. I decide to choose my words carefully. Satori, I need you to promise me something. Anything. I need you to promise me that if your cookie jar ever runs out of happy thoughts, you need to tell me so that I can refill them. Will you do that for me? Come on, don't read too much into it. It's just a poem. There's a lot of feelings in this one. Feelings that make me think that maybe some of those happy thoughts should stay where they are instead of being put into bottles. Don't you think? Okay, I get it. Jeez, sometimes I think you worry about me too much. Well, of course I do. You're a precious cinnamon bun who needs to be protected at all costs. I take immediately delight in embarrassing him. Hey, I am not! I can't help but giggle a little. Jeez, that's enough. Why do you always have to ruin our moments by saying something dumb or weird? He says that, but he can't help but break into a small smile anyway. You love me for being dumb and weird. Admit it. He tries to hold back, but he finally relents and shows me a big smile. Fine, you win. In any case, you seem really passionate about your writing. I hold up his poem. It shows. Well, I'm glad. I look at the poem one more time before I hand it back to him so he can finish sharing it. Remember what I told you. I will. Next is Yuri. See what you've written for today. Well done, Diverse. Your skills are already improving. You really think so? Wow, thanks, Yuri. Means a lot coming from you. It's nothing. I'm happy to inspire my fellow writers. I know you're new to this, so don't worry too much if it feels like you can't get your poem to feel perfect. You needed to be afraid to be a little more daring. How can I do that? Well, metaphors can go a long way. Coming up with clever or beautiful metaphors is super challenging for me. Doesn't have to be. Writing shouldn't be a robotic activity. Secret is just let your mind wander through your feelings and write down the things you see and hear. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see inside your mind. When you think about it, it's a very intimate exercise. I see. It's certainly an interesting technique. Thank you for sharing that with me. I have an example of that if you'd like to read it. Of course. Is this a poem you wrote for today? Yuri nods and hands me his poem. Phoenix. Immortal flame. Tearing through the sky. Resplendent. Aristocratic inferno. Spreading her smoldering wings. Destruction. Fearless, I hold out my arm. I see the beauty. The phoenix perches. It hurts, but I will heal. The phoenix seeks me out. I am her only friend. I embrace her. Her warmth enfolds me. Searing. My beast, my desire, my passion. The phoenix can never be tamed. The sun is where she dwells. But when I hold out my arm and call, she comes to me. It ignites my soul once more. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more, metaphorical. That's right, it's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. So, what's this poem about? Well, I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. Sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Like, what kind of hobbies? Ask without thinking. Ears visibly shaken. Well, that's not important at the moment. Perhaps we'll discuss it another time. It's fine, I'm sorry for prying. I was just curious. I understand how it can be embarrassing to talk about what many might consider an unusual interest. Do you have an idea of your own, Diverse? Well, it depends on what the definition of unusual is. What's normal for me might be considered weird for someone else, you know? That's true. That's why people should respect each other's individuality rather than make fun of them for it, even if it's difficult. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I'd probably hate myself. Sorry, I'm just ranting a bit now. But I'm glad you're a good listener. In fact, you're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening, even breaking up fights. There really aren't a lot of people like you, Diverse. Yuri? Sorry, it's just how I feel. I never thought I would be so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I look forward to it. It's a nice feeling, and I thank you for that. Yuri smiles at me sincerely. Who should I show my poem to next? Matteo. Hi again, Diverse. How's the writing going? It's going fine. Good, you're applying yourself. That's what matters. I'm trying. Let's see if trying is paying off. Show me what you wrote for today. Sure, here you go. I hand Matteo my poem. Another Satori poem? Well, aren't you two the dynamic duo? Well, we are pretty dynamic. And there's two of us. witty as usual. Hands me back my poem. Spend a lot of time with him, don't you? Even in the club, you two are inseparable. It's sweet. Also nauseating. I know it's none of my business, but would it kill you two to hang out with anyone else? I mean, if you spend time with the other members in this club, there may be a change or even an improvement in your writing style. I'm just saying. Oh, we're talking about my writing? I mean, of course we are. Well, I guess. Because right now, I feel like you're just piggybacking on Satori's personal style. Wait, what? That's not what I'm doing at all! Relax, I'm just teasing. I mean, sure, you could stand to spend some time with the rest of us. I raise a suspicious brow. We're definitely not talking about my writing anymore. But your style is different enough from Satori's to be your own. So that's good. Anyway, are you ready to read my poem now? I'm quite proud of how this one turned out. Yeah, let's have a look. Play me. Your colors, through bright and beautiful, blind me. Red, green, blue, they flash, expanding across the universe. They won't stop. Your noise is endlessly meaningless. It squeaks violently, screeching across time, piercing through my ears. Sine, cosine, tangent. An endless cacophony of grating waveforms. Like dragging a fork across a dinner plate. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless... Quit me. What the... And I thought Yuri's poem was weird. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Are you not a fan of that style? Oh, I do like it. I've just never really seen anything like it before. I guess you could say it's very unique. Thank you. I do like standing out in a crowd. It's no different when it comes to my writing. Is this one also about your epiphany? Well, sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So, putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Isn't interpretation up to the reader? Anyway, here's Matteo's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. What? You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? I glance around nervously. Who the hell is he even talking to? Me! That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. What the hell kind of... What? Aw, damn! It doesn't show in the history box. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuko. Well, I can't say it's any worse than your last poem. But it's not really much better either. Whatever guilt I was feeling for eating all his cookies has completely dissipated. Well, at least it's not a total train wreck, so that's good. You didn't offer any compliments, but you sure do like to dish out the critique, don't you? Well, that's what it means to be a pro. Every critique I offer is based off my own experiences as a writer. Listen to my advice and maybe one day you'll be as good as I am. Did he just take my critique of him as a compliment? Man, I just can't win with this kid. Actually, you know what? This kind of reminds me of Satori's poem from yesterday. Oh, yeah? Yep, but it's to be expected. You've been friends for so long that you're probably on the same wavelength. You're a lot alike, the two of you. Just a couple of dorks. That's a fair assessment. I actually have no argument. He's right. Well, I don't get it, but if it works for you, whatever. Anyway, here's my poem. Trevor likes dolls. So there's this guy who's in my class. Trevor is his name. While everyone else thinks he's cool, I think Trevor's lame. Although he does like comic books and can slam dunk a basketball. I found out that Trevor likes to play with Barbie dolls. It's hard to wrap my head around why he's got so many friends. They speak so highly of him and the praises never end. Trevor this and Trevor that, from the classrooms to the halls. I wonder what they think of him if they knew about his dolls. One day, Trevor came to me and he smiled at me fondly. I grimaced and I back away because I didn't want his doll germs on me. Because his intent was friendly and he invited me to the mall. I went with to check out the babes, while Trevor brought a doll. I do not care that Trevor's kind or that he has a brilliant mind. Holding open doors, cleaning spills from floors, helping feed the poor, ending all the wars. Shield your wives and hide your daughters cause Mr. Perfect can walk on water. Yes, he's smart and sure. He's fun. No, he's not hurting anyone. Well, I hate to burst your bubble and I hate to hurt your feelings, but I also hate that Trevor douche with every fiber of my being. Someday I'll break my silence about Trevor's love for dolls. I'm gonna let his secret out. I'm gonna tell them all. Not bad, right? I reread the poem a couple times, nodding to myself. I think I get it. The message in this poem is, don't be a jerk and judge someone for their weird hobbies. Am I right? What? No? You serious? Geez, and here I thought I made the message pretty straightforward too. Do I really need to explain it? Huh? So Trevor and his dolls aren't an analogy for you in your comic books? Natsuki merely smirks and rolls his eyes at me. Gosh, you're such a dummy sometimes. My face burns with embarrassment. Well, I thought you were using a simple analogy to tackle complicated issues. I did, but you missed the point entirely. Alright, let me explain. See, sometimes we come across people that annoy the hell out of us. They could be the sweetest person in the world, be talented, super smart, whatever, right? Like, no matter how cool that person may be, there's just something about them that rubs us off the wrong way. Subject of the poem literally has no reason to hate Trevor. They don't even know why they hate them. They're just annoyed by everything he does. We know why the subject hates Trevor. It's because they're jealous of him. And jealousy makes people do some pretty immature things. Don't you see? The subject doesn't really care that Trevor plays with dolls. They're just trying to find something, anything, to nitpick about him in order to try and justify their contempt. The message here is, yes, you will get annoyed with perfectly harmless people. But instead of trying to fuel your hatred by finding the one thing wrong with the person who annoys you, you need to focus on people's good qualities in order to get yourself out of that mindset born of envy. I mean, you can't just hate someone because they happen to be good at things you're not good at, right? I'm a little taken aback by Netsuko's message. It's a lot deeper than I thought. But after giving the poem one more look, I finally catch on. It's actually a pretty good poem. Hey, Diverse, I do agree with you on one thing. I think people need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Right? I think so too. Yuri actually wrote something about that today. Did you say Yuri? Yeah, he said his poem was about an unusual hobby of his. He said people shouldn't make each other feel insecure about these kinds of things. Really? Well, I mean, Yuri's pretty weird, so it's not surprising that he has weird hobbies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I wouldn't judge him or anything. Netsuko thinks to himself for a moment. Maybe I should try to take it easy on him. Since he's insecure about his odd behaviors and everything. I mean, I hate it when people make me feel insecure. And when Yuri did make me feel insecure yesterday, the way you put it makes it sound like he learned his lesson. I think so. And even though his writing style is very different, I'm sure he'll appreciate the message in your poem. Well, I don't write unless there's a good message to take away from it. It's what I do best, after all. My poems don't just make you feel emotions. It helps you learn what those emotions are in a simple and fun way. Maybe I can teach Yuri a thing or two from today's poem. Definitely taught me something. Haha, good. Because tomorrow's poem is going to be even better, so look forward to it. Alright, let me save this part. Because I feel like this is going to be the part where, I'm super fucking late. I just woke up. Oh, it's okay, Yandere. Well, I mean, I guess it is kind of bad timing anyway, because I'm about to stop. Alright, well... thank you for tuning in at the time that you did. Good morning, Yandere, because I guess I did kind of just woke up about 3 hours ago, and that's about the long time that I've been streaming for. I woke up at around 7:30 tonight and got myself ready. So, damn it! Yeah, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I did wake up at like 7:30 my time today, so I could prepare myself for the stream. Even though I'm sorry I was late. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. I'm really sorry that I was late before, but yeah. All right, so that is going to conclude this episode of Switcheroo. But this is a nice contrast. Like I said, this is definitely gonna take some getting used to for me because it's a complete gender fluid version of Doki Doki Literature Club. So anyway, I'm definitely gonna continue this. I don't know when I will, but it's definitely going to be soon. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really gonna play this again, and as always, I'm gonna see you guys in the next stream. Goodbye!